when families need it most. Providing essentials like clothing, hygiene items, and household goods. Put help within reach. Learn more at good360.org.
Tune in Saturday mornings for financial talk that matters. It's the Matter Financial Report with Michael Matter, talking assets, income planning, insurance, retirement, and more. Your money matters. Listen Saturdays at 7 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. Michael Matter offers investment advisory services through Gradient Advisors, LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Matter Financial Group is not a registered investment advisor nor an affiliate of Gradient Advisors. Insurance offered through Michael Matter, independent agent.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
If you've been shocked by your increasing utility bills, we get it. Energy rates in California are crazy. So at Sierra Pacific, we're introducing our 10-10-20 Home Energy and Comfort Program. It's called 10-10-20, and it works like this. Our HVAC techs will come out and install a new home comfort system in your home now. You'll get 10 years to pay for the system, a 10-year warranty on that system, and 20% off the cost. That's 10-10-20. And SMUD customers can get rebates up to $3,000. With summer almost here, now's the time to call or visit SierraPacificHome.com and ask about our 10-10-20 promotion. With over 1,700 five-star reviews, we've proudly installed over 20,000 home comfort systems. If it's time for an HVAC system replacement, call or visit us at SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear. And a good afternoon, everybody. We are finally at the end of the week. We hit the new month. So much going on with the Final Four this weekend. Right here in Sacktown, the A's with their home opener taking on the Houston Astros. A 3-game set, and then it's right back out onto the road to take on the Yankees, who are off to a blistering start. They win their home opener today at the Bronx over the Mariners. The Giants, after getting swept by the Yankees, have been really playing very well this week, taking the series from San Diego and then destroying the Mets last night. We're going to talk more about that game. You know, I talked about this with Buck Martinez a couple of weeks ago about Sacramento and being a baseball town and how many players from this area have gone on to have phenomenal careers in Major League Baseball and beyond. You know, Dusty Baker, obviously. You know, we talked about Buck, and he had some phenomenal stories. And there is just a long, long list of players in Major League Baseball that are right here from Sacramento, managers, right? Former players. It's really awesome to see. And then you look at the Giants, and I think there's a lot of cool things, obviously, in sport, okay? I don't know if there's anything that is better than a local kid, okay, that grows up in this area, ends up playing for the local team, gets his first major league start, goes 3 for 3, and gets on base all 4 times in Daniel Susac from Roseville. It's a great story. I just love that. I love when local athletes go on and play, particularly not only in the bigs, but for either the A's or the Giants, or if it were the 49ers and the Raiders, or listen, it would have been great if Ryan Anderson could have played for the Kings. Probably wouldn't have been great for him, but you know what I'm saying. It makes for a really nice story. So anyway, the Giants are off to a good week after that opening sweep. And I guess now when you look at how good the Yankees have come out of the gate, listen, Yankees are a better team than the Giants. Let's just call it the way it is. I think people were alarmed that the Giants only scored 1 run in those first 3 games, and their bats were just dead. But then they go to San Diego, they win that series, and they get off to a good start last night in beating the Mets. But anyway, so as I talk about baseball here, I'm curious. 916-779-0929. I'm curious whether you even care that it's opening day. And when I mean opening day, I'm talking about the home opener, obviously. Like, I don't really hear a lot of talk here in Sacramento about that. I get A's fans or people that are going to be going to the game, and you're going to be at the ballpark tonight. But, like, there's not a buzz about this, right? I'm not hearing it. Maybe I'm not in the right circles of the fans that are going to the game or pay attention to the A's. You know, we had Steve Sachs on yesterday in hour number 1 talking about this weekend and how big it is. And I posed that question because I was like, wait a minute. They're 1-5. They got the first place Houston Astros in town. And I don't even know if we should make a big deal out of saying what place the team is in the second week of the season. But they have to go to New York and play the Yankees right after this. Then they play the Mets before coming back home. And they were just in Atlanta and Toronto. So it's not a great schedule. And Steve agreed with me on that. And I think it's very important for them to win this series. All right? So I'm just wondering, do you care about the A's? Where are you at with that? 916-779-0929. Kings in action tonight, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Malik Monk will not play due to personal reasons. You know the story by now. You're going to be keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Indiana plays Charlotte. So when the Kings hit the floor tonight, they'll already know what the result of that game is. We've gone over the NBA standings ad nauseum, so I'm not going to do it again right now. But the Kings are coming off a win against Toronto. What we always talk about is first game back after a long road trip. And the Kings got in at the wee hours of the morning and had yesterday off, and here they go. New Orleans played last night. They've got a lot of players out. We'll see. I don't know who in their right mind would go to this game tonight. I really mean that. I don't know who would go to these remaining games. I really don't. Already getting a couple of messages. Did I catch that shootout last night in L.A. with the Kings and the Predators? Amazing game that benefited the Sharks. The Sharks control their own destiny now, and they're playing really well. First of all, they controlled their own destiny before the game last night. I'm sorry to say that, okay? But, and I say that, they're going to determine whether they go or not into the playoffs, okay? Said, Grant, it seems like last year there was a buzz with the A's to start, but it fizzled pretty quick last year. And this year I don't see much interest. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not. I'm not feeling it. Here's an interesting message I got. Grant, just wondering if you were able to partake in spectating in any of the American Basketball Association games when it existed in the early 70s at the Nassau Coliseum with the New York Nets with Julius Erving. I don't think I've heard you speak about the ABA before. I'd love to hear your perspective if you did. I just watched a fascinating documentary called Soul Power on Amazon Prime. Thank you and happy Good Friday. Not only was I at the Nassau Coliseum to see Dr. J and Rick Barry, I was out at the Long Island Arena in Comac, Long Island, with a tent where the Nets first played while the Coliseum was being built. So, yes, as a kid, you could not get into the Knicks games. When I mean as a kid, meaning that the Knicks were so good during that era that we're talking about here, that you're referring to, in the early 70s. The Knicks won their first championships in 69-70 and then 72-73. You couldn't get a ticket to go see the Knicks at Madison Square Garden unless you had a lot of money, and that was not me, and that certainly was not my father. So I don't ever recall, and I mean this, I don't ever recall being at Madison Square Garden with my father for a Knicks game. And I was only at Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game growing up once that I can remember, and it was the day or the night that I met Marv Albert. And so that is something that, yes, I did go watch the ABA. All right, so here's the latest on Luka Doncic. This is a disaster for the LA Lakers, all right? Luka, okay, MRI, and he is going to be out for the rest of the regular season, all right? He's out indefinitely, according to Shams Charania of ESPN. He will miss the final games, which means he will not qualify for postseason award because he's only played in 64 games. I think you can write the Lakers off. Goodbye. They're done. I don't think they'll win their first round. I don't think they're going to win their first round series without Luka Doncic. As a matter of fact, I would say there's very little chance of that happening. And I was not watching the game, but I read a lot of stories about what happened last night. The Lakers were getting blown out, okay? And there's a lot of heat coming the way of J.J. Redick. They were down 31 points at the half, and he put the starters out there in the third, and Luka had grabbed the back of his hamstring in the second quarter. And Redick said, hey, he checked out. He was good. He got cleared, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I was going to give it a 6-minute run and see if we could get back into the game.
and Luka goes down with a hamstring, and with it, let's just call it the way it is, all right? With it, the Lakers season. How many games were impacted last year in the playoffs by injuries? Tatum, Achilles, Halliburton, Game 7, injury, NBA Finals, other players out. And as we talk about injuries, one player is coming back, Steph Curry, expected to return on Sunday against the Houston Rockets. Not good. Not good. 209, taking my son to Stockton Kings playoff game. So good for you. All right? Said, I'm going instead of the Kings game, and I'm a season ticket holder. Well, you're going to see a meaningful game. If you go to the game tonight in Sacramento to watch the Kings and the Pelicans, you're going to watch a glorified scrimmage. So good for you. Have fun. Have fun. Ryan was at the game the other night. He loves going to those games, although tonight he's not going to be there. He has to go to the Kings game because we're doing a post-game show. And I didn't give him permission to miss 2 straight post-game shows, so he will be at the Kings and the Pelicans tonight. No comment from the man in the other side of the window here. That's okay.
Like Phil Mickelson, I'll issue a statement.
Yeah. Very nice of you to do that. Appreciate that. You'll issue a statement? That's very kind of you.
No problem.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah. I would go to Stockton tonight. I would love to go to Stockton tonight, but I am excited to see Zion Williamson.
All right, if Zion Williamson were not playing, would that affect your decision?
Probably not, because it's the first game back from a long road trip. But if this was, game 3 of a homestand, I would be in Stockton for sure.
Okay. All right. Something else I wanted to get into today, and I'll hit on this in the coming segments. The tide is turning as it relates to Tiger Woods a little bit. And what I mean by that, he has pretty much been given a pass, and we've talked about this week, by the media and by those that cover the sport of golf, and really by fans across the world. And I thought it was very interesting, and I'm going to read one comment now, or one quote, and then I'm going to talk about the media. This is not really the media, although after his playing days, Sir Nick Faldo went on and was a tremendous golf commentator. In my opinion, he was tremendous. I thought he was very good with CBS. He said this about Tiger Woods. Our sport is based on discipline. You rule yourself. You police yourself. I would have thought the PGA Tour, behind closed doors, must be very disappointed that they paid Tiger tens of millions to be on the course and off the course with this business role he has got as chairman of the Player-Driven Future Competitions Committee. He's only finished 9 tournaments in the last 5 years, yet they feel he is the future of the golf course and the future in the decision-making, and they must say, oh boy, what do we get out of that? In the normal walk of life, there would be some accountability. And here's something else that is mind-boggling and fascinating to me. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN is one that was guilty of this, and many others. I talked about the other day a general manager telling me the story of Ty Lawson when Ty was a free agent and looking at potential teams. And this general manager told me they had a meeting with Ty Lawson's representatives. And they were saying, we can assure you that there won't be any more DUIs because we are going to have a driver that is Ty's personal chauffeur to and from practice, the supermarket, he went right down, the airport, everything. And this general manager said, well, I don't really think that's the problem. I don't think driving is the problem with him. I think drinking is the problem with him. Tiger Woods does not have a problem driving. Okay? Tiger Woods has a problem with what I believe, and we all believe, is an addiction to pain medication. Now, it could be more, but I'm just going by what we know. His problem is not driving, okay? I think we could agree that if Tiger Woods was not impaired and not on what looks like drugs, whether they're prescription drugs or whatever, they're still drugs, he probably would not have been in the accidents that he's been in to date. His problem is not driving. So can we stop that right away? So Stephen A. Smith talking about, well, gee, I can't believe he can't afford to get a chauffeur. Okay, well, let's just assume. Let's assume right now that Tiger Woods has a chauffeur that drives him everywhere. Well, guess what? He's still addicted to pain medication. That's the problem, isn't it? The problem is not driving. The problem is he's got an addiction. That's the problem. Why don't people see that? They think it's just going to be taken care of if you get a chauffeur. That doesn't take care of your addiction. What it does is it keeps you out of the news and potentially killing an innocent person and or yourself. It doesn't take care of your addiction. Why is that so hard for people to recognize? I don't get it. Wake up. Wake up. And then I'm going to read another story as it relates to Tiger Woods because I find it to be very interesting. And we'll do that. That's coming up in a little bit. I want your phone calls on this, on a couple of things, or the text messages, and we're getting a lot of them. Where are you with Tiger Woods right now? Do you even care? Is he kind of off the radar for you a little bit? How many of you watched the TGL last week when Tiger played for the first time? Did that make you want to watch that indoor golf with the golf simulator? Did you watch that? I'm curious. I did. I think I've watched that event maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. I happened to be home when it was on, and I saw on social media that Tiger Woods was playing. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I wouldn't have gone and watched it there's no way I would have turned it on. We talk about moving the needle in sport. I know one thing, if Tiger had not been in this accident and he was still doing what he was doing, and he had said he's playing in the Masters, I can tell you right now, on Thursday, the golf world would have been in front of their TVs, and I'm not saying that they wouldn't be watching the Masters, but more people would watch. The casual golf fan would watch. The non-casual golf fan would watch. Everyone would watch if Tiger teed it up in this year's Masters, which begins next week. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, no, you're glued to your TV if Tiger's on it. This is really nuanced, too, because of what you said, the pharmaceutical side of things. Also, do we get Tiger in rehab if the police report doesn't say he has 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket?
Right.
You know, there's a lot to it because that was a big shift in the story when that arrest affidavit came out.
Yeah, very true. All right. We'll take the break. 916-779-0929. The Grant Napear Show on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox.
Hey, it's Grant Napear for Village Financial Group. I have known broker-owner Spencer Grimmenstein for 25 years, ever since he began his family-owned business. Whether it's a home equity line of credit or buying or selling a home, Spencer is a very creative financing specialist with access to private money. Check out Village Financial Group at vfgloans.com or call Spencer at 916-805-4868. Be sure and call for the investor special. And if you go to their website, vfgloans.com, you can find over 9,000 properties available for purchase. Folks, Spencer is awesome. Trust me. Again, I've known the guy since 2000. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Call 916-805-4868.
It's Rhino inviting you to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is real sports knowledge meets real payouts. You're not competing against sharks, just the numbers. In basketball, points, rebounds, assists, baseball, hits, total bases. One swing can cash your pick. Golf fans, birdies, strokes. and round-by-round performance. Every shot counts and every pick matters. It's simple. Choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projection, and let them win the night for you. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code Rhino50 to get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Rhino, RYNO50 to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. One app, over 100 sports. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
You're driving to work and someone looks at their phone.
And bang, just like that, shit happens.
Hurt in a crash? Call the accident guys. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
I'm retired and worried about the cost of food, medicine, and rent. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to an extra $1,000 a month. Best of all, it's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Hello, Friday. I've been waiting for you for a long time. You just
By the way, the official MRI, if you're looking for grades, it's a grade 2 hamstring strain. Going to be several weeks. The latest on Tiger Woods, and you knew this was going to happen, that his private plane has touched down in Zurich, Switzerland. Obviously, he had to receive permission from a judge to travel outside of Florida as he apparently seeks treatment for this addiction. All right, here's one for you. I'll put my glasses on so I don't misread this. How do you know and say Tiger is on question mark? Do you have experience with pharmaceutical drugs? No, here's what I have experience with. I have experience with common sense. I majored in common sense at the fine institution at Bowling Green State University. I graduated with a degree in common sense. So how do I know? Well, I'll ask you this question. Did you read the police report? And let me ask you a question. How many times have you been driving and end up upside down in your vehicle or on the side of your vehicle due to your negligence on the road? I'm curious. 0 times? Would it be 1 times? Would it be 2 times? Would it be 3 times where you didn't end up on the side or upside down, but the episode with his wife, his ex-wife, leaving the home, the pills found in his pocket? And let me ask you this, since you asked the question, how do I know? Common sense tells me that if an individual is going to come out with a statement and talking about that he's going to rehab, to treatment, what do you think he's going to rehab for? Driving? Do you think he's going to treatment at a international driving school over in Switzerland? Maybe at the base of the Matterhorn? Maybe after his morning session of learning how to drive in icy conditions, which they don't have in Florida, but if you can drive on the ice and snow, you can certainly drive on the dry and sometimes wet roads in Florida. And then maybe in the afternoon, maybe he'll do the Iditarod. You know, going up and down the slopes of Zurich, Switzerland? You never know, right? Based on your theory, maybe he's not going to rehab. Maybe he's not seeking treatment. Maybe he just wanted to go out of the country and he's going to hang out in Zermatt, Switzerland, go to an international driving school, and then go dog sledding in the afternoons. What are you, an idiot or what? Wake up, would you please? Stop being a moron.
Yeah, and 209, I do have experience with pharmaceutical medications. I went through a 2-year span in which I needed 2 hip replacements. And guess what? The problem with opiates and painkillers is so out of control that I had to have a 3-doctor plan, which, by the way, up until the first time I was cut, not a single opiate entered my body. But in between surgeries and during surgeries, it was unavoidable. And it came with a 3-doctor plan. That is how serious they take these medications now.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, these injuries with Tiger did not begin this century. They began before that. If you want to start when he started playing sports and had his first tweak, you know what they did? They threw pills at stuff. Grant, we've seen this from NFL players. We've seen this from various sports. They threw pills at the problem. And so Tiger had one way of treating that when it comes to surgical interventions. And he has had so many surgeries. You just do the math. I mean,
all right. Well, I'm gonna give you another version of math, and I'm gonna get into what you just said, and I'm gonna read a story because I just read Sir Nick Faldo's quote. So allow me to read this story by a guy that I recite often because I think he is in a class by himself.
He is,
and that's Phil Mushnick of the New York Post. So this is going to take a moment or two, and bear with me because I think this says a lot. Are we happy now? Not likely. The moment Tiger Woods is next seen on a golf course or pulling into its parking lot, as per TV's Tiger Excesses, NBC's Dan Hicks or CBS's Jim Nantz will reprise their previous welcome backs. He will be saluted for his remarkable courage, commitment, and desire to make another heartfelt comeback and resurrection, as if he were one part saint, one part wounded war hero, and all parts the world's greatest human. Now listen to this paragraph that he writes in the New York Post. Woods remains the most self-entitled, adult, spoiled brat, and media-pampered person in the history of sports. And to say, write, or even hint that he's anything less than the greatest human, even just leaving it to only a great golfer, is to risk your access to conduct a fawning interview with him in pursuit of his usual bland, say-nothing answers. Let's take it from the start. His far-flung, widely followed amateur career was a sham, as amateurs are forbidden to play for money or employ an agent. Woods and monster rep firm IMG made compost of those rules by signing Woods' father as a paid, quote, talent scout, unquote. The talent he scouted was his son, and the money was applied to Woods playing all over the world as the world's most privileged amateur. The USGA, which makes and is expected to enforce the rules, committed the first pandering act on behalf of Woods by letting it go. Golf was viewed as a white man's sport, and Woods could inspire racial inclusion. The day he officially turned pro, IMG and Nike had Tiger commercials produced and ready to go, an impossibility for an amateur who didn't have an agent. In the ad, Nike had Woods, who had insisted he rejected the label of being a black golfer because his mother is Asian, take the attitude and race hustle path with the claim that there are golf courses all over the country that won't allow me to play. That was a lie, or at least Woods and Nike couldn't name one, but Woods, suddenly a racial activist, did often play a course in Houston that banned women. And so with Woods being pitched as a young man who would create interest in golf among poor black kids, Nike, borrowing from its sales of grotesquely overpriced China-made sneakers that included Spike Lee's "All You Homeboys Should Be Bum Rushing to Get Some" pitch for Air Jordans, made Woods' gear the most expensive. Then came that episode when Woods, as a young pro, was stymied behind a boulder. He was facing a penalty drop when about a dozen yahoos in the gallery ran out to lift and move that boulder as if he would then fall under the legal definition of a loose impediment. As Woods played on, losing no stroke when he should have waved those boulder pushers away, the guys on TV thought that scene and message of excessive and legal entitlement made for a ha-ha wonderful moment. Do the right thing? Protect the field? Nah. Despite early evidence that the greatest golfer was hardly the greatest guy went seen, but unspoken. Then there are drugs, the illegal kind, the senses-deadening, muscle-enhancing kind. It remains staggering that the media ignored Wood and Company's reliance on Canadian sports medicine doctor Anthony Galea, unlicensed to practice in the U.S., to such an extent that Galea was flown to Wood's Florida home at least 15 times for special treatments, as if there were no credible licensed doctors closer. Dr. Galea's house calls ended late in 2011 when, according to the FBI, he pleaded guilty to a felony charge of introducing misbranded drugs into interstate commerce for the purpose of treating professional athletes. The drugs included human growth hormone, HGH, and Actovegan. I may be pronouncing the name of that drug, but I think it's Actovegan, a derivative of calf's blood. Galea admitted traveling to the United States numerous times from 2007 through September 2009 in order to provide medical treatments to professional athletes, including players in the NFL, MLB. One type of treatment involved injecting athletes with a mixture containing HGH, while a second type of treatment involved injections of Actovegan. Confirmed Galea patients included Woods, Alex Rodriguez, Olympic medalist Dara Torres, Mark McCoy, and Donovan Bailey, and NFL players like Jamal Lewis, Javon Walker, Santana Moss, and Chris Sims, in parentheses, now with NBC. If I knew and wrote all of this, how did those assigned to cover golf for TV and publications not know or refuse to know, let alone report it? In Wood's first rotten driving episode, that 2009 physical blow-up with his then-wife, Woods admitted to taking Ambien before crashing his Escalade into a fire hydrant. Ambien is a prescription sedative hypnotic. Warnings include only to be taken before bed. We would have been arrested for DUI that night, but not Tiger Woods. Next, he was found roadside, unconscious, behind the wheel of his car in 2017. He entered rehab for addiction to prescription drugs. Who wrote the prescriptions? Why the hell was he driving? He's entitled to drive and perhaps kill an innocent person while whacked on opioids. His high-speed rollover in 2021 on an LA road nearly killed him. Yet police responders, ignoring protocol, did not conduct a blood draw to determine sobriety. He is, or nearly was, after all, Tiger Woods. And now this latest could have killed someone DUI rollover, another unsurprising surprise. Sure, he doesn't want anyone to drive him, never ingest drugs in front of witnesses. I recall the first event Woods played after a long absence, following the death of his dad, the greatest dad on the planet, of course. The TV host gushed and marveled at Woods' courage and strength of mind to play under such mournful conditions. It was maudlin, nauseating. Did it strike none of them that Woods could take weeks off because he is filthy rich? How long did they abandon work after a loved one's passing? Earlier that month, a former PGA member who'd had fleeting success, his name escapes me, played in a tournament qualifier days after his father's death. Asked how he was able to do that, he said, quote, "I have to make a living. My father would approve." So you got Nick Faldo, one of the great golfers in the history of the sport, an ambassador for the game of golf, criticizing all of this. You've got a very opinionated columnist in Phil Mushnick of the New York Post, who's not afraid to say or write whatever he feels. You don't have to agree with him, but it's very interesting that he puts it all out there. And then you just talking about Ryan talking about prescription drugs, and I get that message from that 209 texter. It's common sense. That's why I can say what I said.
Yeah, it's also nuanced because when Nick Faldo talks about the PGA, right, and they should have done something about it. Well, if you have, and this is that shade, right? If a doctor is prescribing it, then how are you going to get on Tiger or treat him differently because of a medication that a doctor is saying he needs to take? But when you take into context what has happened in this country, I don't even need to mention it. Somebody knows someone that has been addicted to an opiate or a prescription medication. You have all these doctors that caused a problem, and now all these doctors that are not trying to help the problem that they caused. So it's very ambiguous. And then you throw in, you've got this massive star, the guy that everybody knows. Tiger is just on a different level. He's on the Jordan level. So there's so many shades. But the bottom line is what you just said. It's common
Yeah, and I'm
sense.
exactly. And here's another one from the 916. Don't base it on his rehab. The day it happened, before any statements, you had him on drugs. I just thought you might have personal experience. No, I had him on drugs based on the evidence that was at the scene of his arrest by the police in Florida. Okay, he had drugs in his pocket. Okay, right. He was arrested, and I read the arrest report. All right, I read about what the police officers who do this every day for a living and are very, very good at detecting an individual that is driving while impaired. Okay, they're experts at this. This is what they do, and they're trained to do. I read the police report, and once again, common sense told me that Tiger Woods was under the influence of drugs because he blew a 0.0 into the breathalyzer. So that would tell me that he wasn't on alcohol, that he was then on drugs, whether it's prescription drugs or drugs that you buy on the street. He was still impaired because of drugs. Prescription drugs is what entered my mind, but I didn't know. But that's how. It's called common sense. Like, what am I going to ignore the police report? And then when the video comes out and the pills are in his pocket, and by the way, his appearance in the back of the patrol car. I mean, come on. Can we wake up and just stop with the nonsense,
How about
please?
just his appearance in general, Grant?
Good Lord.
Like when Phil Mushnick talks about when he returned after his father passed away, go look at Tiger at his best and go look at Tiger when you saw him in the last month or two on the TGL or whatever appearances he was doing. His face looks bloated. He looks like he is not sleeping. He doesn't look well.
No. And then here's one. How about this? Driven many times on pills prescribed from the doctor. Never wrecked my car. So is it the pills? Well, guess what? If you're driving under the influence, then you're a moron, okay? If you're driving because you're taking antibiotics for an ear infection, you're probably fine, okay? Because that's not going to impair you driving the vehicle, all right? When you get prescription medication, there is a warning on the label, may cause drowsiness. All right. Your pharmacist would also tell you this is not anything that you want to take and drive. Okay. Like it's called, again, we go back to common sense. And if you were taking pills, those that would put you under the law, under the legal guidelines of driving under the influence, then consider yourself lucky that number one, you weren't pulled over. And number two, that you didn't wreck your car. What are you, Superman now or Superwoman because you did it and you didn't wreck your car? That's like me saying, well, guess what? I had 4 beers last night and I drove my vehicle and I didn't get caught. And so it's fine. No, it's not fine. You still did something that you shouldn't have done and you got away with it. So stop with the nonsense, would you please?
Yeah. And I think it's important. I can only say for myself, but this is not coming from a place of hate. This is not coming at a place of anger at Tiger. This is coming at a place of concern.
Yes.
When you see an individual struggling like that, and then you see him putting other people at risk.
Exactly. You know, the reality is I don't care. And understand, I'm trying to make a general statement here. I don't care if an individual at age 50 wants to go into a ring and resume his boxing career or her boxing career.
even though they're putting their health at risk, in my opinion, because they're making that decision. I don't have any problem with the driver that gets into a race car and at the Indy 500 goes 230 miles per hour, knowing full well the risk that are involved in being in a sport like that. I don't have a problem with MMA fighters or any other sport that, let's face it, has a degree of violence and danger associated with. That's up to that individual, all right? I'm not bothered by your actions if they don't affect me or another innocent person. I've always taken that approach. If you want to stay in your home and you want to take drugs and you want to get drunk all day, I feel sorry for you. But I don't really care because it's not my life and you're not affecting me. And that's just the harsh reality of the situation. I feel bad for you. I wish you would have a better life and you wouldn't have to do that. But if you're not harming me or anyone else, go live your life however you want. Do whatever you want if you're not harming another human being. That's if you're an adult and that's the choice that you're making, go ahead and make that choice. If you have an addiction and you can't help it, then go get treatment. All right? Walk into a treatment center or a rehab center or what have you and seek treatment. But do what you want. It's your life. But do not jeopardize other people with your foolishness, your stupidity, or in some cases, addiction, which you can't help because you've gotten to a point of being an addict. Go get help. But don't hurt anybody. And don't put anybody else's life at risk. I've got a problem with that. This is Fox Sports Sacramento.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrude's does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrude's. Expert, 5-star service, and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast.
But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We welcome you back. Grant Napear Show, Fox Sports Sacramento. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Rhino, I want to get your take on the A's because I'm not feeling it as we get ready for the home opener. I'm not hearing a lot of talk in town. I mean, this is Major League Baseball. It's right here in our backyard over the river in West Sacramento. I mean, it's Sacramento, but it's West Sacramento. And I'm not really hearing that much talk about it. And I'm looking at our text line, very few messages. I'm looking at my social media, not a lot of chatter on it. Do you get that same feeling?
Not really. I don't think there was, outside of the first game last year, a ton of noise. And I thought that this city showed up pretty well for the A's. And I think there's a lot more excitement with the guys in the offensive side of the lineup and the way that they can play on offense. So, no, I think it's about the same. And I was surprised by how much baseball we've gotten over the last week and a half.
Okay. Well, let me ask the question this way. Do you get a sense that most of the people that go to the A's games are either rooting for the other team or just want to be at a major league game and aren't really A's fans?
No. Not at the A's games that I've been to. Now, I didn't go against the Yankees or the Red Sox, but no, I thought there were genuine A's fans.
Okay. I was just curious because I thought with this, and I know they're 1-5, but that shouldn't change the excitement level for the game tonight. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I'm just not in the same walks in the same circle of sports fans as you. That I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. Maybe a good weekend will change that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because basketball's still going on. I don't really know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every time that I've gone, I've been able to sit in the, lower level seats somewhere behind home place or her home plate around that area. I've never sat out on the grass knolls for the A's, and I would love to go out there and find out because that's the people that you're finding out from. Because if you're in the nice seats, you're probably an A's fan. You're there to see somebody else. You're a baseball fan in general. But the people that are coming out and sitting on the grass, why are you there? Is it just to come to a major league game? I would love to get that poll.
I did it with my kids at the River Cats games years ago, being out in that area. It's cool. You let the kids run around. You can hang out. It's not a bad time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I found it's really funny. You'll find a lot of people that post on YouTube about the A's and their videos sitting out there on the grassy area. So sometimes I'll just kind of tune into a couple of those to get a little bit of a feel for where fans are at.
Well, again, you look at the standings, and I know it's still the infancy of the baseball season, but the A's are in last place. And not only are they in last place, but everybody else in the division is off to a pretty good start. Houston is 5-2. Texas is 4-3. Seattle and the Angels are, 3-4, which for Seattle's not good. They've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't help that they've had
now a series against the Yankees and another series against the Yankees, which started today, that could impact your record.
You think?
But the A's are 1-5, and as Steve Sachs was telling us yesterday, with their schedule upcoming, being at the Yankees and at the Mets, they better not have a bad weekend. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
they better not have a bad weekend.
I thought Saxey was fairly positive though yesterday. He thought they had gotten some bad, just not been the benefactor of some good bounces, and thought guys were playing pretty well. Just got robbed here and there, so I think they'll be all right. Get a couple wins on this homestand, hit the road, get the fans excited.
From the 916, I'm excited for the A's game tonight. It's not quite the same as having our own team, but it's still pretty cool to have an MLB team here for a few years. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Absolutely. I mean, if there is baseball next year, it will be the last year. That stadium is moving along very rapidly in Las Vegas. I don't know if you've seen the construction videos, but boy, the shell is already up. They're putting the suites in already. I mean, it's pretty amazing how fast that thing's being built.
Are you sure it's not AI? I've asked you that before.
This is not AI. No.
All right.
When I mean putting the suites in, I'm not talking about like the couches and chairs and everything. I'm talking about the structure. No, it's not AI.
Hey, really quick, going back to your open, and you were talking about Ryan Anderson and how cool it would have been for him to play for the Kings. Who is that hometown guy that got his chance and a good run with the Kings? I think it's probably Chuck Hayes. Does anybody else come to mind?
That would be the guy.
Chuck Hayes?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep. Good to have you here at 916-779-0929. Michael Yogi Stewart.
Oh, there you go.
Back in the, Yogi was a huge fan favorite. He lives in Orlando now, and he's doing great. Big fan of Yogi's. So that was pretty cool at a Kennedy High School.
I'm so glad you brought up Yogi. I had not thought of him in
I'll get him on the show.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him and get him on the show. Love Yogi. We could reminisce about that period of time.
What
Remember
do you
the
think?
game he had like 9 block shots in a game?
It's a lot of block shots.
Yeah.
Especially the way they played back then. What do you think the attendance is going to be like tonight?
I think it's going to be announced or what it looks like.
What it looks like.
I think it will be 50%.
Okay. So I will.
What do you think?
I think it'll be 50% at best because you've got the A's going on too.
Okay.
I'll look.
Even without the A's, I think it would be 50%.
All right. I'll look in between the breaks to see what the get in the building price is. What do you think?
Okay. And if Zion Williamson was out, I think it would be well less than 50%.
Do you think it matters to the 50% that are still going that Zion's playing? I'm not sure that it does.
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I do. Not all of them, but yes, some of them. I think there are some people that are going to the game tonight just to see Zion Williamson.
Guilty.
Yeah. There you go.
Hand raised.
Right. All right. Bold prediction of the day. The Lakers will not advance past the first round of the playoffs.
That would have been the bold prediction yesterday before Luka got hurt. It doesn't matter. They weren't going. Grant, they were getting run off the court. They can't even get the ball past half court. Did you see that last night?
They got destroyed. It was like a pro team against a Division II college team.
Yes, a disjointed team led by a 9th-year senior in LeBron James.
Yeah, and it's also worth pointing out. The Lakers were playing great basketball going into that game. I think they had won 16 of 18 games.
Yeah, they had been playing well.
Look for the Lakers to possibly, they're in third right now. They're only a game in front of Denver and only 2 games in the loss column with Houston. They could fall from third all the way to 5th. So keep that in mind.
I bet they'd love to get
I don't see them advancing.
I bet they'd love to get into the play-in right about now.
Oh, boy. Hard to believe we're done already with this first hour. More to come right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
After an accident, insurance will try to settle fast for less.
If you accept, you will regret.
So talk to the accident guys first. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
If you love the game of golf and you want to get better at playing the game, your journey to golfing excellence starts by visiting par18golf.com. Par 18 Golf is a cutting-edge golf performance and training center located inside the historic Nimbus Winery in Rancho Cordova. Par 18 Golf trains with TrackMan Performance Systems, the very same system that PGA tournament professionals use to perfect their game. TrackMan indoor practice bays utilize Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that capture every motion and tiny aspect of your swing, from your posture and stance to the angle and trajectory of the ball and its distance and speed. Whether you're sharpening your short game, dialing in driver distance, or preparing for a summer tournament, visit par18golf.com. Book your first visit and get ready to train like PGA pros. You'll play smarter, perform better, and compete with an entirely new level of confidence. Go to par18golf.com and see the future of golf performance.
Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go. Jackson. We're giving away life-changing cash at Jackson. Spin the super prize wheel, and you can win up to $1 million. Fridays and Saturdays, 5 to 10 p.m. Sundays, 2 to 7 p.m.
Jackson Rancheria.
Let's go. Buckle up, because we're also giving away an RV this Memorial Day. Earn entries now playing your favorite games, and be here 8 p.m. for your chance to win. Let's go. Let's go. You know the songs, you know the sound. Now you can hear them live at Jackson. Eagles tribute band One of These Nights is live June 13th, and our tribute series is packed with iconic rock. Journey Revisited, Skynyrd and Friends, CCR, and more. Let's go. Let's go. Let's rock. The music and the wins are waiting at Jackson.
Jackson, 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 Jackson.
Let's go.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabrew's. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabrew's or visit Gabrew's.com. GUBRUDS.
Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news, because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family owned, locally owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Great to have you on board on this Friday, the Final Four. Are you excited? You getting ready for the games tomorrow? Who do you like? Are you still alive with your brackets? What do you think? Final Four this weekend. I want to read this message. Very interesting. 916-779-0929 to get to the text line. Grant, I apologize if this is a dumb question, but you've mentioned before that the Kings minority owners have serious issues with Vivek. So do minority owners have little to no say in anything? Is it all just the majority owner who makes all of the decisions? It's not even the
majority owner. It's the managing general partner. The managing general partner doesn't even have to be that majority owner. But once you get the title that is signed, sealed, and delivered, in this case by the NBA, as the managing general partner, you are the one that makes all of the decisions. The minority owners of the Sacramento Kings have no say in how the team is run. Now, they do have owners' meetings where they all get together and discuss certain things, but the managing general partner, in this case, Vivek Ranadive, has full control over the Sacramento Kings in every single aspect of the organization, from both the business side and the basketball side. It is his team, for figure of speech. It is his team, and he makes the final decision. He doesn't have to go and ask anyone else when he wants to do this or do that. He is the individual. Now, is it like that in other sports? Yes, there's always one individual in every sport where they have the autonomy, they have the control, they have the power. But the NBA's managing general partner contract is, it's like Fort Knox, all right? You can't break into it. Now, are there ways that you could lose control? Yes, you could be Donald Sterling. Okay, you can cut your own wrist. There are things you could do that would have you no longer be in that position with a basketball team where you are forced to sell. For instance, a situation in LA with Donald Sterling. An egregious act of breaking the law. I mean, there are ways that you could have your role as managing general partner relinquished. Death. Okay? But that individual's in control. They make the decisions. It's just the way it is. You know, you have to have somebody in control. Whether you want that person or not, there has to be that individual that makes the decisions. And in this case, unfortunately, the man that in this example is that's making the decisions has a long list of the wrong decisions and has, unfortunately, okay, a lack of wherewithal to do the right thing. And really, if you want to get right down to it, the right thing would be to sell his shares of the team and move on and let somebody else have a chance at running this team, because you, the fan, deserve it. All right? If there's any fan base that deserves success, it's this fan base in this city. Okay? It's called loyalty. And it's not like we sit here in April of 2026 and see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. And there are those that are holding on to a, in my opinion, an olive branch that to me is fractured, but it is an olive branch that you are hanging on to, hoping that next month's lottery shows up a good one for the Sacramento Kings. And then you as a fan are going to hold hope that that individual that comes into Sacramento is going to be a savior. That's really what you're hoping for. Now, we've had on Jerry Reynolds, both here on this show and on our postgame show over on YouTube and X. He doesn't believe that that player exists in this draft. Scott Pollard agrees with that. It's interesting to get a difference of opinion on some of these players. I'm reading a wide range of opinion on Boozer. Ryan talked about this the other day. It looks like DeBanza now is a pick that most feel will go number one. There's a difference of opinion on Darren Peterson across the country. There's a lot of different degrees, Ryan, of opinions on all of these players
that
are going to be drafted, even though we keep hearing what a deep, deep draft it is. Well, my question to you is this. Why is it that the draft is graded out already as a very strong draft, and yet we have so many different opinions on some of the players whose name may be called first, such as a Darren Peterson, such as a Cam Boozer, okay? I keep hearing, Acuff, well, he can't do this, but he can do this. He can do, why is it? If this draft is so strong and everyone's just kind of positioning themselves to be one of the worst teams in the NBA, and yet there's a big difference of opinion on the players coming out and who should be number one. And if most people feel that AJ should go number one, there's a huge disparity about who should go 2, 3, and 4 in this draft.
You can have a super strong draft without having a superstar, right? How many drafts can we go back and look at and say, man, that ended up being a good player. That was a good player. That was a good player. But you don't have a LeBron James. You don't have an Anthony Edwards. You don't have one of those guys near the top that is and I know Anthony Edwards wasn't the number one, but you don't have that consensus number one guy. Like, okay, NFL right now, it's already Fernando Mendoza, right? It's him. Move on. So yeah, I think that's really what it is. And then I've been saying this for the last couple of years.
But there's also a big varying opinions on him. And they compare him. Well, gee, if he were in the draft last year, he wouldn't be number one. He would be this. He would be that. So, yes, but go ahead.
But you can't do that, right? You can't compare like, oh, well, 2 years ago, this guy would have been better because you can't go back. It is what it is. These are the players that are available.
But it's fun to discuss. Like, where would Cooper Flagg go in this draft? Would he be number one? I think he would.
I think he would. Yeah, I do. Just because of, one, the experience he had at his age. I think playing with the national team, getting them ready for the Olympics, having success, working with Steph Curry a lot before. But yeah, I do think it's a strong draft. And like I was saying, I think the draft is becoming so much more subjective. Now, these top 5, not subjective. Those are the top guys in the draft. But once you get beyond that, you see teams taking more, I don't want to say risks, but they reach a little bit more for a player they feel like fits better in their system, feels like they can develop better. Yang Hansen from Portland, great example from that last year, which, by the way, Portland was fined. Did you see that? $100,000.
$100,000. Yeah.
For illegally recruiting him, I guess.
Yeah.
Tampering. Yeah. But yeah, so I think really what this...
I hope they don't go out of business over that fine.
Well, how would you like to be the new owner? Because the team just sold or they're going to sell. I wonder who gets to pay that bill. Anyways.
I think they'll be okay. I think the new owner will be able to afford that.
I think he'll be okay, too. I think really the intrigue in this draft to me is really the guy that we're kind of low on here, Darren Peterson. It's like, what is the rest of the NBA? What are the other teams at the top of the draft going to do? I kind of feel like this might be that first Luka draft again, right? Where you pass on a guy because of concerns, you pass on him for other little things. So it'll be really interesting. But if you're holding the envelope right now for the Sacramento Kings, you get to write the name in. Which way are you going?
I'm going with DeBonsa.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm going with DeBonsa as well.
I think he's got the most upside, to be honest with you, of these players. Like, when we talk about a guy that could be that centerpiece of your franchise, of all the players in the draft, I think he probably has the best chance. If you told me, and again, we're speaking in a word that I hate hypothetically, that Peterson didn't have those quote unquote issues of playing and not playing and this and that, I think he's got the most upside. I think when you look at talent, NBA talent, right? Like
Spot on.
he's a guy that could be a true difference maker, right?
Spot on. Yeah. You just questioned who was the Sacramento King that you guys talked about. You had somebody on from back in the day, and it was Jerry. He said Billy Owens didn't really love the game of basketball.
No, he didn't. I said that, Jerry. No,
okay.
he had a heart the size of an acorn.
There you go. I think those kind of questions are coming up in regards to Peterson because if you took Cam Boozer's heart and put it inside of Darren Peterson's body, there would be no discussion about who the number one pick in this draft would be.
I'll tell you, Billy Owens, when you watch Billy Owens in practice, he was as smooth as silk, and he was so gifted and so good, but didn't really care about being great and didn't really care. Like, he didn't have a love for the game and a burning desire to compete every night, and had kind of a very laissez-faire attitude about stuff. He didn't have that drive. He didn't have heart. And it's a shame because of all of the players that have come into Sacramento, he may have been as talented as anybody, but he didn't have the rest. And you can't teach that.
No. See, the heart part of it, when you think back to some of the biggest fan favorites and the people this city, this fan base gravitates to, it's the Sacramento Kings that had heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at your head coach right now, Doug Christie. Look at Scott Pollard. Look at Vlade Divac. Look at Bobby Jackson. Look at Malik Monk. I could keep going down the list. Every team should be getting a guy with heart if you're being paid that much to be a professional player that plays a game, a child's game for a living. But it is at a different level here in Sacramento.
Here's what I've seen in my years of covering the NBA, particularly in the last 15 to 20 years. Very few players that come into the NBA, there are exceptions, but very few fall into the category that we're just talking about. Don't have the desire, don't have the heart, blah. They all do, with the odd one here and there. They love playing. They're living their dream. Many of these individuals, unless they're a high draft pick, which what we're seeing right now in the NBA with not only the Kings, but many teams. Look at all the 10-day contracts.
Yeah.
I'm seeing today teams, there are so many players that are playing right now. I will equate what's going on right now to almost the summer league for the non-playoff teams. This is the summer league at the NBA level. Wow. The players that are playing tonight, many of whom will not be on the Pelicans or the Kings next year, but want to be on an NBA team, want to be at least a two-way player, want to open up the eyes of a general manager somewhere, they can't afford to have anything less than an all-out, balls-to-the-wall effort, hopefully with some stats, okay? These games are actually very easy to coach, and I've said this, and Jerry Reynolds, I asked him this question last week, and I asked Olden Polynice on the show 2 days ago. More mistakes are made by NBA front offices during this time of the year as it relates to player evaluation than any other time during the year. You have to be very careful as a basketball scout, decision maker, about what you're watching right now when it comes to a player that is trying to move up the ladder, that's going against other players that are less talented, that won't be in the NBA, or you're going against some veterans that are on these teams that are playing as if it's the preseason instead of the regular season because they see the finish line in sight and they just want to get out of Dodge. That's where we're at right now. This, to me, is like tonight's game. This is a summer league game that's going to be played in Sacramento tonight. Now, do I believe that the players on the Kings will play hard? I do. I think they're going to be exhausted. They're going to be dealing with jet lag. That's the reality of the situation.
Jet lag?
They just got in at 3 a.m, less than 48 hours ago.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time for saying
No, I know,
jet
but
lag.
there are people that are going to say, Napes, what are you talking about? Yes, it is an issue. Trust me, okay? They were just on the East Coast. It's a 3-hour time difference. The switching of the everything. It is going to be an issue tonight. I could see the Kings getting off to a very slow start tonight. I could.
Yeah. Look, and the counter to that, the sell to that for some of you is you might not see the big stars. You're going to see a couple of them. DeMar DeRozan will be in there tonight. Zion Williamson. You might see kind of messy basketball, but you're going to see guys play hard. And luckily for Kings fans, we've seen Max can't talk right now. Max Reynaud, who has a good sample size that he's going to be a player. He's the reigning Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
Yes.
He got that in the middle of the season. Dylan Cardwell got his reps in the middle of the season, right? But a guy like Devin Carter, the heck does that mean based off of what you just said?
I will tell you that there will be players that are taken out of the lottery in this year's draft that will end up being very good NBA players. It happens in every draft. We just pointed out Max Reynaud. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did we do last night on Prize Picks?
We came back to earth last night.
You did? Okay,
Yeah.
so you're human. Is that what you're telling me?
I am. Yeah, I had to pinch myself. I'm like, what? I'm not getting paid? It's all right. You get another bite at the apple tonight. Come join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. It's a huge weekend, actually, for Prize Picks. Today is a Flex Friday, which means you can get an extra percentage on your payout if you do a flex pick, which means one of your projections cannot hit and you can still get paid. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code RYNO50, RYNO50, to get $50 in free play when you play your first $5 lineup. Here's the cool thing. You're not going against Vegas Sharks. You're not going against the next guy. You're going against the stats. You're going against the numbers, which makes it a lot of fun. You choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat predictions, and that's it. Let them win the night for you. Again, use the promo code RYNO50 to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. We're going to go with Devin Carter. More than half of them made three-pointer. DeMar DeRozan, more than 2.5 assists. And Dylan Cardwell, more than half of a block. So go use Rhino50, hit that, and let's get paid this weekend.
Yeah, I love it. So, Ryan, have you ever had 2 off nights in a row? Let's be honest. Okay,
No.
I'm not trying.
No,
Okay,
I have
so
not.
there you go. There you go. You listen to that, folks.
I have not.
Listen to that.
Yeah. So go find me on there, Rhino in Sacktown. You can see all of my activity. My boy, what's his name? I can't remember it now. Ivacaville. He's been playing with me. So go follow me, play with me, and get that $50 for free. Win or lose your first $5 lineup, you get $50 free.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. We'll be taking our time out. We'll come back. Let's get your phone calls. We got a lot of topics on the table, or text messages I love as well. 916-779-0929. Interest in the A's. Where's it at? Do you think tonight's game is worth going to? You know, there's tickets available for very few bucks, relatively speaking. You can go to the Stockton Kings playoff game. You've got, again, we talk about baseball, A's, Giants playing in Sacramento and San Francisco, respectively. Where's your rooting interest? What about the Final Four? Are you definitely watching the games tomorrow? Where are we at this weekend sports-wise? What's on your sports menu? Tell me. Where are we going with all of this? Next on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox Sports. Jackson Rancheria. Let's go.
Jax. Dust off your leg warmers and light up the night. It's time for our Bingo Glow Show, the 17th. With over $10,000 in prizes, the stakes have never looked so bright. Score a cash jackpot of $1,199. Let's glow.
Let's go.
Fire up those taste buds with a new kitchen gadget, a hot dog roller, cast iron fajita plate, or even a burger press with a cheese melting dome. Earn 1,000 points on your Dreamcatcher's club card, and you'll score that week's gift, Thursdays or Fridays, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Let's eat.
Everybody knows Jackson's where you go. Jackson Rancheria. Let's go.
Let's go. Ignite your night with games and gifts at Jackson. Let's go.
Learn how to make your money matter more. Join Michael Matter every Saturday morning for advice about 401ks, habits for successful retirement, Social Security, and more. The Matter Financial Report, Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on Fox Sports Radio Sacramento. Michael Matter offers investment advisory services through Grading Advisors, LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The Matter Financial Group is not a registered investment advisor, nor an affiliate of Grading Advisors. Insurance offered through Michael Matter, independent agent.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
All right, here's an interesting development. The agent for Luka Doncic is the longtime agent, Rhino, Bill Duffy of WME Basketball. I've spent some time with Bill. Love Bill. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Quote, this season, Luka Doncic has performed at a historic level, leading the league in scoring, carrying the Lakers in third place in the Western Conference, and playing himself in the middle of one of the most tightly contested MVP races in memory. To ensure that Luka's incredible accomplishments this season are rightly honored and he can be considered for the league's end of the season awards, we intend to apply for an extraordinary circumstances challenge to the 65-game rule. Luka missed 2 games this season for the birth of a second child in Slovenia. His daughter was born on December 4th on another continent, and yet he was back in the United States competing with his team on December 6th. Luka has gone to great lengths to show up for his team in the league this season. His record-breaking season deserves to be noted in the history books, despite last night's unfortunate injury and other extraordinary circumstances. We look forward to working with the NBA, PA, and the league office to ensure a fair outcome in this matter. You know, this really bothers me. It really bothers me that we get to the finish line and there are those that want to change the rules. No. If you had a problem with anything associated with the 65-game rule, it should have been collectively bargained in the last agreement, and you should have put your hand up right then and there and said, we don't like this, get rid of it. Okay, this is wrong. All right, it's, in my opinion, it's wrong. And you are required to play 65, Ryan, of the 82 games to be qualified for postseason awards. And now you want a special circumstance because your player has had historic season and you include the birth of a child where you had to be out of the country for 2 games. What, you're the only player in the NBA that has, maternity leave? I mean, come on, stop it, would you please?
And let me say this, you don't get extra credit for playing more this year than you normally play because you've not been in shape, because you've been injury prone.
Thank you.
The NBA can't do this, and the reason that Bill Duffy is doing it is because the PA put out,
of course,
their thing last week about the 65-game rule. But okay.
And he doesn't want to lose his client to another agent too. So he's defending his client. I get that. He's posturing.
But okay, let's take a step back. Your season is not being blackballed from the record books. Okay? It's still there. Your numbers still count.
Yes.
You weren't going to win the MVP award this year. The only thing that will be taken away from Luka is a first, second, or third team All-NBA. That's what we're talking about.
Who's going to win the MVP had Luka not been hurt?
SGA.
Okay.
I kind of think it's Jokic, but SGA will win it.
Okay. You don't think Luka would have won it?
No. No, not with where the Lakers are at. The Lakers would need to be first or second. Probably first.
All right. I just have a problem with it now. This is something that you don't get to the finish line and change the rules. You just don't. Let's get to Lynn. Lynn, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hey, Grant. Hey, Grant. How are you doing today?
Good, Lynn.
Grant, you are 100% correct about the Lakers and the Thunder deciding who will get that number one spot. But, man, who would have ever thought the Thunder would beat the Lakers like they did last night? That was just
embarrassing.
Insane. I mean, I was going through X and I saw the G-Man post that. I was like, wait a second. Did I think I just saw what G-Man said? 47 points? I was like, wow. I was totally shocked to see that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move over to Portland real quick. I saw the team sold for $4.25 billion.
Yep.
That's a pretty big amount of dollars. And I see the guy from the NHL, the Hurricane owner, bought him. So it should be interesting to see if he does the same thing what he did when he bought the Hurricanes. It would be interesting to watch to see what he does with the Trailblazers, because I think he turned around that Hurricane franchise in the NHL when he took over that team. So it's going to be interesting to see that. And I don't know if you know, that $4.25 billion, Grant, is going to charity. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, all that money is being donated to charity out of the Paul Allen Foundation.
Paul Allen Estate. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the same is going on with the Seahawks, too. So the Seahawks are up. So the one thing I want to see is who's the one that's going to bid that. I want to be interested to see if Mark Walter and his TWG group go after the Seahawks. Because I think he wants to get in the NFL because he's already owned the Dodgers, the Lakers. He owns the F1 Andretti, or the F1 team, Cadillac team, and he owns a few other things. So it should be interesting to see if he goes after that. That's going to be the interesting one in the off season. And I just want to let you know, Grant, I did book my cruise for the fall colors. So I'm getting ready to do that for 27. Last week of September, first week of October. It's like 11, 12 days out of Philadelphia.
Good.
Stop in your favorite town north of New York. Go somewhere in Maine.
The team that's currently last place in that division, the American League East, that town?
Yeah. But
okay. Yeah.
Grant, I got to tell you, Grant, I took my son on a high school senior trip to New York and Boston.
Yeah.
I thought Boston was a little bit better than New York. Because
in what way?
Me and my son are history buffs. And what I thought was cool about Boston is, and maybe I didn't know where it was in New York, was there was a lot of cool old buildings in Boston from back from the American Revolution that they kept.
No, there are.
I thought that was
it does have a lot of history. It does have a lot of history. It really does. That's very true. It doesn't have the Statue of Liberty though.
That's true. We took them to the Statue of Liberty. Took them to the Empire State Building.
Yep.
Took them to the Freedom Towers. And one cool thing we did was we took the train up from New York to Boston. That was
Amtrak.
Ride to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, the Amtrak. That was a cool ride. So that nice area up there. We did that back when he graduated back in 2015. So both those towns were great. But I kind of like Boston a little bit better for the history. But I'm going to have to agree with you on the sports. The Yankees are much better.
Thank you, Lynn.
Grant, have a great weekend. See you later, bud.
Take care.
You know,
go ahead.
I'm really proud of you for the way that you handled that. I thought we were gonna, get this types of.
That's not allowed.
Talking about Boston being better than New York.
I'm turning over a new leaf.
Good job.
Yeah. Somebody said DeBonsa is probably a generational talent. I wouldn't go that far. A generational talent is LeBron James. A generational talent is Kobe Bryant. A generational talent is Tim Duncan. I wouldn't put him in that category.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I talked to a college coach that I very much respect. I don't have I will see if I can share what he said about DeBonsa. It's not good, it's not bad, but this generational, it's nowhere near that. I can promise you.
Right. I mean, we have to understand when you define generational talent, I just defined, all right, Magic Johnson is a generational talent. Larry Bird, all right, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Those are generational talents. No one thinks there's a generational talent in this draft. Now, could they be wrong? I guess they could be wrong. I mean, Nikola Jokic is a generational talent. He was a second-round pick. So, yeah, it happens.
But the way we define generational talent at different times of the year alternates. Right now
yes,
is when you would truly know or consider a generational talent, because we wouldn't be debating who the number one pick is. It would have been like the draft with Wemby.
Yeah.
When you're watching the lottery, you know that is the lottery for Wemby.
By the way, I think it's just so unfair that people are piling on Ryan because he missed his April 2nd deadline of the passport and everything. And you're getting a lot of flack. I just want to let you know, I'm going to allow you to defend yourself if you want to take a moment to defend yourself.
I would argue that's on a technicality.
Oh, no. You can't have it on a tech. See, you know what your problem is? You're Bill Duffy.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
You're complaining at the very last moment when you knew what the rules were, and you knew what the standards were, and you knew what everything we disclosed what this situation was. The league had disclosed to the players that you need to play 65 games, and now you get to the finish line and you're 1 game short. You were 1 day short, and you're no. You are the one that has to take ownership for this. You can't blame it on a technicality. You waited too long. Don't wait till the last minute to do everything.
100% right. Yes. I'm so glad you tied that. You took my bit away from me. But yes, I own it. We will be getting together.
Ryan, Bill Duffy. That's it. That's your new middle name, Bill Duffy or Duffy. Ryan the Duff. Yes.
Bill? What's the other name for Bill? Because Bill can go both ways, right? Like Bob, Robert, Bill, William. Okay. Yep. I want to be Robert William, or I want to be Ryan William Duffy.
Ryan William in Sacktown. How's that for you?
Ryan in Sacktown. I've never understood why people do that. You usually see it with attorneys where it's W. dot whatever their name is.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never really thought of that, but I have been thinking a lot about Bennett's and the bill. And are you going to be okay with that?
Yeah. We'll have a nice setup. Promise you.
I know with the 7-figure salary you're making here at Fox Sports Sacramento, where's the decimal point on that?
Are you talking about the deferred compensation plan? Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Deferred compensation. Is that what it is?
Yes.
That's good to know. That's good.
Oh, they didn't get you set up on that one either.
No.
Okay.
I didn't get that as an independent contractor. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. What's wrong with us?
Many, many things. That's for sure.
Yeah.
916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. So we've got the A's, we've got the Giants, we've got the Kings, we've got the Stockton Kings. We've got a lot going on right here in this area. Final Four. Are you still? You're in the mix, right? In this Final Four bracket that we have going on. By the way, I'm currently in first place. Are you out of it?
I'm out.
Done?
Well, I'm not out, but my national champion's gone. So you still have yours alive. I think there's 3 people, including you, that have Arizona. Okay. But you're solid A. You're like 95th.
I'm 95%.
Yeah, you're 95%.
I'm in first place. Yeah. I'm you on Prize Picks.
There you go.
There you have it.
Yeah. Haunted Horse chiming in. Delayed compensation. Yeah, that works too.
Haunted Horse.
Look at Haunted Horse, man.
Yeah.
Doing his thing.
He's got a nickname, right? He got creative. He doesn't have his own name. I don't even know what his real name is.
You better.
Actually, I do.
Yes, you do. You better start pitching Haunted Horse on a Northern California trip where you guys can have Jim Boy's tacos 3 meals a day.
We'll get Mickey Hatcher to join us.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just got to drag horse
Mickey will really like that when I go, Mickey, I got a guy that's going to be able to set you up. Come up, visit me. Let's play some golf, and we'll go have a couple of meals at Jim Boy's, and you don't have to have any money in your pocket.
You know, I wonder if Horace could get the Jim Boy's truck to your place.
Well, now I would not ask him that. I don't know him well enough to ask him if he can get the Jim Boy's truck. to come to. I don't know if that would be something that I would feel comfortable asking. Okay.
I mean, Chris has been a big contributor to If You Don't Like That. So
He has been. The guy's been great.
Yep.
And he's a technological wizard. I mean, the guy is freaking amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real good.
I wish I had 1/100th of his technical knowledge.
Self-taught. Dude's a grinder.
Yeah.
Love him. Great dude.
That's why I don't, because it's self-taught. So I'm not. No, I'm in trouble there. I'm in a lot of trouble. Hey, don't forget, Grant's Rant is coming up at 5 o'clock. We get you to the weekend right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If you've been shocked by your increasing utility bills, we get it. Energy rates in California are crazy. So at Sierra Pacific, we're introducing our 10-10-20 Home Energy and Comfort Program. It's called 10-10-20, and it works like this. Our HVAC techs will come out and install a new home comfort system in your home now. You'll get 10 years to pay for the system, a 10-year warranty on that system, and 20% off the cost. That's 10-10-20. And Spud customers can get rebates up to $3,000. With summer almost here, now's the time to call or visit SierraPacificHome.com and ask about our 10-10-20 promotion. With over 1,700 five-star reviews, we've proudly installed over 20,000 home comfort systems. If it's time for an HVAC system replacement, call or visit us at SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
If you love the game of golf and you want to get better at playing the game, your journey to golfing excellence starts by visiting par18golf.com. Par 18 Golf is a cutting-edge golf performance and training center located inside the historic Nimbus Winery in Rancho Cordova. Par 18 Golf trains with TrackMan Performance Systems, the very same system that PGA tournament professionals use to perfect their game. TrackMan indoor practice bays utilize Doppler radar and high-speed cameras that capture every motion and tiny aspect of your swing, from your posture and stance to the angle and trajectory of the ball and its distance and speed. Whether you're sharpening your short game, dialing in driver distance, or preparing for a summer tournament, visit par18golf.com. Book your first visit and get ready to train like PGA pros. You'll play smarter, perform better, and compete with an entirely new level of confidence. Go to par18golf.com and see the future of golf performance.
Nine 779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. In a moment, I'm going to get to some calls and some text messages. Hope you're on your way to a fabulous weekend. First weekend in April. Enjoy it. We've got a post-game show tonight over on YouTube and X as the Kings take on the Pelicans. Hope you can join us. That will be at about 9:15 or 9:30 tonight on the post-game show. Hey, before we get to the phone calls, I love talking about Village Financial Group and Spencer, the broker owner of the locally owned, family-owned business. And we talk about the market and we talk about interest rates. People are still waiting for them to drop. And so a lot of folks are looking at home equity line of credits, and Spence can do it all. His business can take care of all of these aspects, buying a home, selling a home,
right? Home equity lines of credit. He is so good when it comes to being creative with financing. He's a specialist, actually, and he has access to private money. You look at Village Financial Group, kind of like a white glove boutique shop experience from the start line to the finish line and everything in between. That's what Spence and Village Financial Group will do for you. Call or text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. He'll take care of you. I've known him for over 25 years. He is awesome. And, if you want to just look at thousands of listings, you can go on their website, vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. And again, thousands of listings available for purchase. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We say hello to Dorian. Dorian, welcome. How are you?
What's up, Grant? What's up, Rhino? Grant, I was talking to Ryan over the break, and he said that he was going to get everybody steak. He said he said it with his salary at a Price Fix. He said it was, and I quote, cheap.
There we go. I love it. See, I've actually told Ryan I want others to enjoy it. So I'm not going to be there because I said, Ryan, I don't want you to have to spend money on me. I want people to go that haven't been there or that are our audience, that are our listeners. So you make sure you order the Prime New York for me. You'll love it and enjoy it. Okay. So I want you to know that I've already told Ryan I'm going to let someone take my place, but go ahead.
Hey, Dorian, here's what Grant doesn't know. I know his pin to his house tab at Bennett's.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, Ryan, you got to get a passport, man. You can't get out of the U.S.
No, he can't. He can't go anywhere. Dorian, he can't go to the World Cup in Mexico if they win when you're there, and you get a ticket, and you get 2 tickets for the Mexico City, the knockout round, and you go, hey, Rhino, man, come on, let's do it. And he's, I'm sorry, I still don't have my passport. I can't go.
I would have taken it with me, man, but he hasn't got it done.
Yeah,
that's not factually correct. I could get into Mexico, I just couldn't get out.
No, you can get out. Yeah. No, I think you have it backwards. I think you'd have trouble getting in, but you definitely easily could get out.
Go ahead, Dorian. Go, you're killing me.
But Grant, I heard you talking about the MVP race, and why is it, or maybe I'm just kind of assuming, but why is it that in order for a player to, I don't know, get the MVP, they have to be on a good team? Because I'm all about merit, right? Like if you have the stats, if you're that much more valuable to a team, like for instance, like if you take like I called yesterday, if you take Macklin Celebrity off the Sharks, well, the Sharks are at the bottom of the NHL, right? But if you take Wemby, or if you take Jokic, or if you take SGA, those teams are still possibly playoff teams. So why does a player have to be on a good team in order for them to get the MVP? Because I feel like it should be in
well, I'll let Ryan answer that question because he's the one that said that's why Luka won at the MVP. So go ahead, Rhino.
Theoretically, it shouldn't be, Dorian, but a lot of these individual awards have been very much team-based, where the record's at, what the team is doing, postseason projections. A lot of times those players are playing on more nationally televised games than your guys in Sacramento. So I agree with you. It's just the way it is.
Well, I think it's the tiebreaker. I think it's, Dorian, I'll answer it because I did vote for many, many years on these awards. And I always gave it great thought. And if there were more than one individual that I thought could win a special award such as MVP or Rookie of the Year or something of that magnitude, my tiebreaker was where's their team in the standings? And I would use that as the tiebreaker. And quite frankly, when I look at SGA, or if I look at Nikola Jokic, or I look at Luka, and who's not eligible, but let's say he were, I use the tiebreaker of the record because I think, after all, that's why you play the games. And if you're equal, where it could go either way, that's what I use for the tiebreaker.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense for sure. Because would you add Cade Cunningham to that list of possible MVPs? I mean, I'm not someone that watches the NBA as a whole. I just watch the Kings and whoever they're playing.
Yes, he would be on the list. He's like Isaiah Thomas was the year that he got hurt. I think that would be the comparison that I would make.
Totally, because if you were to take Cade Cunningham off that team, I mean, I don't know where the Pistons are at, but I mean, I'm assuming they'd have a worse record than.
See, I don't like the way you, and I swear, and I don't like you. I've always disputed this. I don't think that is a good way of looking at this if you took so-and-so off the team, because I don't know if I agree with you about if you took Wembanyama off the Spurs for the whole year, or you took SGA off the Thunder for the whole year. I'm not really sure they would qualify as a top 6 team, and I think they would be in the play. And so I don't necessarily agree with you. I think if you take the best player off a team over the course of the year, I don't agree with you. I don't think they are a playoff team. That's my opinion. Now, you would look at the Celtics and you would say, Grant, you're wrong. Tatum didn't play the whole year, and they had a great record, and then he came back. So because I think we all agree Tatum is the best player. Now, Jaylen Brown, a lot of people think, but there might be an exception every now and then, but I don't know if I would agree with you on that. But here's what I do know, Dorian. I think you could make a case for Luka, assuming he had the 65. I think you could make a case for SGA. I think you can make a case for Nikola Jokic. And I actually think you can make a case for the first place Detroit Pistons in the East with Cade Cunningham. But you can only vote for one. So what is the criteria? Like, how would a voter distinguish, well, I'm voting for Luka over Nikola, or I'm voting for SGA over Cunningham? Like, what is the I guess the barometer? What is the criteria? Why are we voting for one individual over another? And here's something else I would tell you, Dorian. I would also look at, well, did this individual win the award last year? SGA won it last year. Nikola Jokic won it the year before. And there are those that think, well, you know, it's really close, and this guy's never won it before, so we're going to vote for that individual. That happens a lot, Dorian, and I know because I voted in these awards.
For sure. You know, when you're voting for someone, well, especially for the MVP, wouldn't you think it'd be all based on stats and statistics?
Yes. Yes, and because you have to define what is the MVP. See, to me, how do you define the most valuable player? See, you're using the analogy, and Ryan, and we all do this. Well, is it what would the team be without them? No. I look at it, I've always defined the MVP as this, guys, and tell me if you agree or disagree. I think it's the individual that had the best season of anyone in the NBA, first and foremost, regardless of the team's record. Like, that's the first thing I look at. Were they the best player in the league? Can you have the best player on a league that's 5th in the standings, or 6th, or 4th, or 3rd? Why can't you?
I think
I agree with that.
I think you have to be head and shoulders above the other candidates.
I agree.
If that's the case. I also think there is now with analytics an element of player efficiency versus player usage that can go into this that's not really talked about a lot, but you're somebody that's taking 40, 50 shots a night versus somebody like an SGA who doesn't play the fourth quarter in a lot of games and is only taking, say, 25 shots a night. I think you have to weigh those factors as well in a close race, Dorian.
Yeah, totally. I think you guys both make a good point. Both make good points, because I feel like the MVP has always been about the stats, and I think now it has much more of a broad range of definition.
I don't disagree.
So, Dorian, who would you vote for?
Well, I don't watch the NBA enough, Grant. I only watch the Kings, so I wouldn't know who I would vote for, honestly.
What about Wemby?
Okay.
Well, Wemby would be that guy we're talking about right now, Grant, where it's the 3rd or 4th best team in the league, but maybe the best player in the league, right?
Yes. Well, I think Wembanyama is the best player in the league, personally. His stats, though, wouldn't have me vote him over some of the others we're talking about, correct?
But he's also, and this is where the nuance comes in, he's also playing on many nights just the minimum to be required a full game. That's like 21, 22 minutes.
Well, I don't think he's going to win it, but if you told me, I'll answer the question this way, guys. This is an interesting debate. If you told me right now I could have any player in the NBA, would I take SGA over Wembanyama? No, but SGA is great. Would I take Luka? No. Would I take Cade Cunningham? No. I wouldn't take any player in the NBA over Victor Wembanyama. If you said, Napes, go ahead. You're going to start a team, and I'm going to allow you to take any player you want in the NBA. Who are you taking? I'm taking Victor Wembanyama. How about you guys?
That's a good point. His upside, I mean, he's the youngest player out of all those five, right?
Yep. Rhino?
Yeah, I'm taking Wemby, and I'm not worried about his body as many people kind of knock him for, because what he has upstairs and in his chest, you can't teach.
Yeah. It's a good topic, guys.
Yeah.
Dorian, anything else, buddy?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right,
that's
appreciate it.
You guys enjoy your weekend, all right? Thank you.
Hey, you too.
Thanks,
appreciate
buddy.
you. Bye-bye. By the way, an update in an NBA score. The Hornets lead the Pacers 46-37. Kings fans are hoping the Pacers can figure out a way to win that game. The Jazz, in all likelihood, are going to lose tonight. They're in Houston. I'm forecasting that. So, Ryan, what that would mean is if the Kings were to win and the Jazz were to lose, they would be tied. They would be tied with the same record.
Okay. Well, you're good with that, right? Better to be tied? No, it's not better to be tied. I was thinking about it the other way around. Well,
no, it's better to be behind the Jazz.
Yeah. Well, if the Kings come out, like you said, a little bit tired from the long trip, not a lot of time off. You know,
what do you think the talk's going to be? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was going to say the Kings have always struggled with the Pelicans historically.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Over the last 3-4 years. Their length, just their athleticism. I've always wondered why that team doesn't win more games.
No.
So,
could you imagine the reaction if the Jazz get the number one pick with Bonsa playing right there in Salt Lake City or close to Salt Lake City?
Grant, Adam Silver would have a fire on his hands.
Oh, boy.
A raging grass fire. And the winds are 60.
A grass fire in New York, huh?
I'm telling you.
You're going to have that? You're going to have to go to Central Park?
Well, he doesn't have to be on New York. Maybe he's vacationing somewhere. Maybe he's on his estate in L.A.
Okay.
I don't know. But you know what I mean? Because everybody's already putting that out there, that this is going to happen. The Jazz are going to get number one.
I know, but I'm just, can you imagine what that's going to be like on that, what is it, May, whatever. I don't even know what the day is. It the 20th? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's good. Hey, that would be just, wow. Yeah. Yep.
Like, if you're Adam Silver, you're like going into a hole if that happens, because the team that has just spit in your face got the payoff.
Ryan, there is someone on the text line wants to know if you have a real ID. Do you have even a real ID?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
I can fly.
You can? Okay. Gotcha. Is that because your dad's a pilot and he can get you on the plane?
Well, no, I can also fly on airplanes.
So you do have a bona fide real ID. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right.
Yes.
By the way, have you gone back down to the post office or wherever you had to go?
No, I'm going to go early
because you're now
week.
past the deadline. So how much longer is this going to take?
It'll be done by next week.
Really?
Yeah. I just got to track down my original Social Security card.
I don't have mine. Do you? I don't even know where mine is.
I'm pretty sure it's in the safe, but yeah.
Actually, I think I do know where mine is.
So there you go.
Yeah. All right. We will move on to sports when we come back. Well, maybe not, because we've got Grant's Rant. That may not be anything to do with sports. It didn't have anything to do with sports yesterday when I ran it on Ryan not having the criteria ready to go for his passport. He lost on a technicality. Well, good. Guess what? Bennett's is the benefactor there. That's for sure. Hey, Grant's Rant is coming up next, the final hour of the week, right here, the Grant Napear Show.
Fox Sports Sacramento.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
It's Rhino inviting you to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is real sports knowledge meets real payouts. You're not competing against sharks, just the numbers. In basketball, points, rebounds, assists, baseball, hits, total bases. One swing can cash your pick. Golf fans, birdies, strokes, and round-by-round performance. Every shot counts and every pick matters. It's simple. Choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projection, and let them win the night for you. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code RHINO50 to get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, RYNO50 to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. One app, over 100 sports. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. NFL offseason isn't quiet. It just changes form. Games give way to rumors. Highlights get replaced by speculation. It can feel like noise, but the truth is, it's not all that empty. Over time, we've learned that some of those whispers tend to lead somewhere. Look at Jalen Hurts. What started as scattered questions gained traction when Jeremy Fowler of ESPN reported real concerns around the quarterback in the building, refusing to commit to an evolving system, at times a poor attitude, and a hesitation to attack zone coverage. Well, now there's Puka Nacua. While other receivers like Jackson Smith and Jigba secured major deals, his contract situation stalled. That alone raised eyebrows. Now with news of him stepping away to enter rehab in the offseason, even more questions. The league has a way of telling on itself if you're not paying attention. And every so often, what sounds like noise turns out to be news. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. They can't stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m., though. They can help you sell, they can help you market, and they can help you hire in one place. They cannot help you be in 3 places at one time, though. And while they can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business at LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/Dan Patrick Show. A personal question. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry, single-ply toilet paper and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. It's a whole lot better thanks to the wet, extra-large cleaning power of Dude Wipes. They comfortably clean up whatever toilet paper leaves behind. You can make the trade of the season, switch from toilet paper, and start experiencing the confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available at Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
All right, Ryan, get me to the weekend, buddy.
You got it, buddy. Here is your first option. How about those fans in Oklahoma City that were talking junk to Luka when he was down on the floor hurt?
Horrible.
It's all
Horrible.
over social. We get it. Luka likes to talk to the crowd, and the crowd talks to him. There's been a fan that's been kicked out, and Luka's been teed up. but there's a line. Good for Austin Reeves standing up for his teammate.
Yep.
Second, Grant, what's with people not covering their mouths anymore when they yawn? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable to me. I don't get it.
Like, I want to carry around one of those death picks that the dentist uses to check your gum depth and just, yeah, you get my point.
It's so rude.
Cover your mouth. And last but not least, the NCAA has NIL and transfer portal out of control, but per Yahoo Sports, we're going to push those things aside and expand the NCAA tournament for the men and the women to 76 teams.
I'm going to go with number one. I don't care what the situation is, whether you lost money gambling or you hate an individual team or a player on another team. When you cheer an athlete who has an injury, you should look in the mirror and ask yourself what's wrong with you. All right? When you are taking delight in another individual doing their livelihood that gets hurt and that brings you satisfaction, you've got a problem. You really do. You should look in the mirror and ask yourself what's wrong with you. What's wrong? You should never cheer. And I've been at games before where that happens, and it makes my stomach turn. I've never understood that. In all of my years of watching sport, I've never taken delight in a player having an injury, including DeMarcus Cousins when he tore his Achilles playing for the Pelicans. Okay? I had a knot in my stomach. I don't like to see any athlete getting hurt. And that individual in Oklahoma City and the fans should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously, what's wrong with you? And good for Austin Reeves. I don't know if you saw the story and what happened, but it was not a good exchange between the fans and Austin Reeves when Luka went down with an injury. I know Luka is a very, I guess, easy target to pick on, all right, because he's always complaining to the officials and doesn't have any problem barking into the stands, and I get that, all right? But as Ryan said, don't cross the line, all right? Have a little class. An individual hurt their livelihood, and you're taking satisfaction in that, shame on you. Be better. Do better, all right? There's a difference between being a fan and being an idiot. Be a fan. Don't be an idiot. Know when to stop. Know when not to cross that line. All right? Shame on you if you're that individual or individuals that are taking satisfaction in an athlete going down with an injury. Shame on you. And that's my rant for today. Boy, how about some of these scores in the NBA in the first quarter? The Knicks are leading the Chicago Bulls with 2:37 left, 30-9. The Nets, who are racing to lose every game, are trailing the Atlanta Hawks with 2 minutes left to go in the half, 32-15.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And the Pacers are down with a minute 18 left, 61-48. But how about the Bulls at the Garden in New York losing 30-9, and the Hawks are down big already in the first quarter to the Atlanta Hawks in Brooklyn? How many people do you think are at the Nets-Hawks game tonight?
Surprisingly, a decent amount. I looked at the ticket prices for the last Nets-Kings game, and they were significantly higher on game day than what we see here in Sacktown.
Like to what degree significance? Do you remember?
About double for the upper deck seats.
Meaning not double the face value, double what you see
Market
in other,
rate right now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What your ticket's going for. You know, the only thing that was worse than the fan cheering Luka, and maybe even weirder, or getting on Luka, maybe even weirder, was LeBron James. Did you see what he was doing during that whole thing?
I did not.
He's just standing there and he's staring at the fan, making these weird faces as he moves his mouthpiece. in his mouth. It was seriously, just go zoom in on LeBron.
Okay.
It's really odd.
I wasn't even paying attention to LeBron. I did see the video.
He doesn't say a word. He's just standing there, like doing his
Yeah.
tough guy act, making these weird faces. It was a little awkward. Kind of creeped me out.
Yeah. At the half, it's 69-50 now, the Hornets over the Pacers. So you got to figure the Pacers are going to lose that game, and you got to figure the Nets are going to lose to the Hawks, although there's a lot of time left, and it's only a 13-point game now, 35-22. So, and you got the Jazz are playing in Houston, and that game starts momentarily. All right. And if you're on the way to the A's game, I would love to hear from you, both on the text line and calling the show. Where's your degree of interest? I would love to know at 916-779-0929. I was actually texting last night with one of the umpires on the crew that's working the series, and they're talking about how much they enjoy coming here to do the A's just because it's a different stop on the tour. And it's just, they don't mind being here. They were talking about how it's easy to fly in and out of, easy to get a hotel. It doesn't cost a lot. And when I say it doesn't cost a lot, they get, well, I won't even get into their system, but they can make pretty good money working a game in Sacramento.
Oh, so the league does not provide their accommodation?
They do provide basically a per diem budget where they can save money if
got it.
There's I can't remember the formula, and I don't want to get into it because I don't want to. How do I want to say that? Release private information.
Sure.
But the umpires I've talked to actually have no issue coming here because again, it's close to the airport. It's easy, right? It's easy to get to the ballpark. Like everything is easy. You understand? Easy.
How far in advance do they know their assignments? Because if you're handling your own travel, that's
at the beginning of the year.
Okay. I was going to say
they know they have their entire season mapped out before the season begins. They get a calendar. Now, here's the difference with umpires. Very often during the course of a year, they're taking off their crew, like Brian, who was on yesterday.
Yeah.
I had Brian's schedule. And he would go, I got called off my crew. I go, what do you mean you got called off? He goes, I have to fly here. I'm joining this other crew because they have an injury, and I got to fill in for this individual, and they're bringing up a AAA guy to fill in for me on my crew. And he goes, but it happens more towards the latter part of the year than the beginning of the year. Or they may be in replay in New York because they do like 3 trips a year to New York for replay where they spend a week there at the replay center. And very often an umpire will get called out of replay to fly to a city because they got to be on a crew because somebody got hurt. So that happens as well.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize they handled their own logistics besides that.
Yes, they do. And they have, now, do they have a travel person they call and that takes care of it? Yes, they do. But they go with that individual and they say, this is what it's all mapped out before the season begins. All of their hotels, all of their flights. They have backups on flights, so they might have multiple flights booked based on what time a game may end or connections and things of that nature. I mean, Brian's been on the East Coast before doing a night game, and the next day he's standing on the field in San Francisco, umpiring a Giants game. So there's a lot of logistics that have to be involved. Yeah.
You almost need an assistant if you're an umpire.
They have, again, that they have people that book flights for them, do all of that, but it's still a lot of communication that goes on. But I will just tell you, the umpires that I've talked to, they have enjoyed coming here based on the ease of everything. I mean, think about it. If you're in a major league umpire and you're doing 30 days in a row, let's say, and you're going from city to city to city, and you fly into Denver, well, you know what? It's a haul to get from the airport to the hotel. And then let's say you're staying in New York. Well, the hotel prices in New York can be ridiculous. A lot of the umpires stay in Yonkers now, or they stay. If you come to Sacramento, it's 10 minutes from the airport to downtown. You can walk to the ballpark. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And if
So-
you come during the springtime, usually it's not sweltering hot.
Correct. Now, they
Nice.
don't like it in the summertime if they're doing a day game, that's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be brutal.
It is brutal. If you're behind home plate, it's not fun.
Well, at least they didn't ever put in the turf at Sutter Health Park, right?
They couldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way they could have.
Yeah, they still got
No.
the grass.
Yeah. The Nets are making a little bit of a move. They're now down 35-28 with a minute gone by in the second quarter. Again, at the break, the Hornets lead the Pacers 69-50. The Timberwolves are in Philly. They lead 47-41 in a low-scoring first half. And at the end of one, the Knicks have a commanding 38-16 lead over the Chicago Bulls.
Our guy Pete Youngman will be in Stockton tonight. He's one of the trainers with the Rip City remix. It's the Western Conference Finals for the Stockton
Where is the
Kings.
Rip City remix is from Portland?
Portland, yeah.
Okay.
Up in Portland. So if the Kings win this, I believe they would go on to the G League Finals, and that would be a best of 3. Last year, they beat the Osceola Magic in Game 3 in Osceola to win the championship. So go out and support them. Patrick Baldwin Jr., Daquan Jeffries will both be playing with the Stockton Kings. It'll be interesting to see, Grant, if they do make it to the title game. If the timing works out, I could almost bet you that Daquan Plowden would play a home game in the finals with Stockton because he's a two-way guy. But if they go to 3 games and it's a road game, I wonder if he'll make that trip to be a part of that game. Last year, Isaac Jones made that trip while he was still a King. So we'll see. But Stockton, big game tonight. Rooting for Will Scott, Gabe Harris, and that entire team down there that's done a wonderful job with that G League franchise.
916-779-0929 if you want to call the show or text the show. That's 916-779-0929. Again, the A's, their game will start in a little more than an hour out in West Sacramento. The Giants and the Mets tonight, game 2 of their weekend series. And, of course, the Kings and the Pelicans. All right, so Zion Williamson, assuming that he plays, I don't know why he wouldn't. He's not on the report, as you said. 30 points. You're going over or under?
Over.
Me too.
No DeJounte Murray. So that's why I'm going over.
All right. Kings tonight, yes or no, will be within 10 points at the end of the game.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say no. I think they'll lose by 10 or more.
You know, Max had a massive game the last time these two teams met. He had 19 rebounds.
Yeah.
I think he might have a big game tonight, too.
I would think so. That updated score now, the Hawks over the Nets, 39-33. And again, we'll wait for the game to resume in Charlotte. They're up 19 over the Indiana Pacers. The Knicks pouring it on, 47-23 against the Chicago Bulls. You know what's really struck me this year? And I don't know if it's more than any other year because the Kings are so bad. There are so many bad teams in the league now.
Yeah.
More than I can remember. There are so many bad teams, partly because they want to be bad and partly because they are bad. But, I mean, if you look at, let's say, in the East, Brian, I always look at, you have the 11th place team, okay, is 30-46. That's Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Chicago, 29-47. Indiana, Brooklyn, Washington, all embarrassingly bad. In the West, all right, you're this is hard to believe. Your 10th place team currently, the Warriors, and they're clearly going to be in the play-in. They're 36-41. Think about that, Ryan. You're going to get into the play-in this year with a substantial less than 500 record to be in the play-in. I think that's absurd. Memphis in 11th, 25-51. New Orleans, 25-52. Dallas, 24-52. Then the Jazz and the Kings. There are so many bad teams in the league this year, more than I can remember in a long time.
I think it's because of the decisions teams have made to sit guys out, opt for them to have surgeries that they may not have had.
And that's what's wrong with the league.
Right. I look at Washington with Anthony Davis and Trae Young. Tell me Trae Young couldn't have really played.
I know.
Come on. And
it's what's wrong with the league. It's the biggest problem that I have with the league right now. And what they're saying, Ryan, is that the regular season is meaningless. And unless Adam Silver can really create a system to fix this, I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
Well, they're also saying that the draft is more important than the 82-game season.
Correct.
That you train for.
Correct.
And maybe that's a byproduct since day one of this CBA being put in place. The first thing that GMs would change about the NBA is the CBA. They've voted that way in their anonymous survey 2 years in a row. So I wonder how much that plays into this as well, because there's a premium on getting guys on those longer small deal contracts and developing them.
All right. Again, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Said, by the way, I'm excited that I'll use my passport coming up, going to the Philippines for the third time in July. 13.5-hour flight, San Francisco to Taipei flight on China Airlines. The 777 is awesome. Why aren't you going nonstop into Manila? Why are you going through Taipei? Huh? Why aren't you doing that nonstop? Let's go. Come on. Let's go nonstop. Just asking.
Maybe it was cheaper.
Just asking. You know, go on Philippine Airlines. Wouldn't it be cheaper than Philippine Airlines nonstop? A lot of the international flights now are becoming a lot more expensive with these fuel surcharges. So if you're getting ready to fly internationally, get your credit card ready to go and make sure that you have enough credit to book your ticket, because the tickets are going up rapidly. All right, we'll come back. We'll take any segment that you want. We got people calling in. We got text messages, whatever you want to talk about. I'm good to go. Let's have some fun here to wrap up the week on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Building friendships and bonding with family. It's what people experience during a day out at Golden State Shooting Center. Only moments outside of Sacramento. Golden State Shooting Center is a favorite for those who love the sport of trap, skeet, and sporting clay target shooting. It's also where the California Youth Sport Shooting Association trains and competes. New teams are being formed, and if you've got a son or daughter in high school, they can compete for college scholarships. Learn more at goldenstateshootingcenter.com or call 916-539-8544.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance. Tool. Limp Bizkit. Pierce the Veil. Plus, Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, Sublime, Danny Elfman, Baby Metal, Public Enemy, Circa Survive, and so many more. 4 days, 135 plus bands, 5 stages. Aftershock takes over Discovery Park October 1st through 4th. My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil. All 4 days, single day, and premium passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down. Get yours at AftershockFestival.com.
Injured in an accident? You need a winner in your corner. Call us, the Accident Guys.
Insurance companies hire the best, and so should you. 877-888-GUYS.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
I love the exercise classes at the senior center, and I love eating healthy, but it can be expensive. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to programs that help me pay for groceries. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Yes, rolling right along here. Wrapping up the week. Fox Sports Sacramento. Holiday weekend.
Sports galore. Final Four. Kings at home. A's at home. Giants at home. Stockton at home. What about you? Are you home or are you traveling? By the way, the 777 is a workhorse, great aircraft. I prefer the Dreamliner or the A350, but it's a great aircraft. So if you're going to the Philippines, going to Taipei first, you're either on, you said you're on China Airlines, so you have a lot of choices there. But the Dreamliner, I love the 787. I love the Airbus A350. That's my preference now if I'm going on a long flight over the 777. But the 777 is an incredible aircraft. So Ryan won't be on that flight. So have fun over in the Philippines. Third time going to the Philippines. Good for you. Good for you. You know, I had a lot of friends that went over there, believe it or not. Was it 2 years ago for the World Basketball Championships or whatever it was, whatever. It was before the Olympics. And they went to the Philippines for the basketball tournament, and they were saying they loved it. I'm like, wait a minute. You're flying all the way to the Philippines to go watch the tournament, the competition? They go, yeah, they loved it. Yeah, it was over in the Philippines, and they had a great time.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, thanks for the invite.
Would you have gone?
You know, honestly, if I had gotten enough notice, maybe. I think that would have been a cool experience.
Manny
I think that would
Pacquiao,
be a cool experience.
isn't he like
that was the U.S. the year the U.S. lost? They didn't even make it to the champion. He went over there with some buddies, and they were thinking, "Oh, the USA is going to be in the final." They didn't even make it.
Is Manny Pacquiao still a big influential?
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Personality there. 'Cause one time I thought it like he was a mayor or something.
You know who's huge over there is Eric Spoelstra, Filipino, and he's
I
been
didn't
over
know
there
that.
a number of times. Oh, he's huge over there.
Oh,
they love Eric. Yeah. You know, the Philippines, they're big basketball fans. Were you aware of that?
I was.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love basketball over there.
It's not
I'm
a coincidence.
Sure the what?
It's not a coincidence that a lot of these guys during the summer, your big name stars in the NBA, they make those trips for camps. You know, De'Aaron had to call out of his because of that hamstring. But yeah.
That's right. But the Philippines, Eric Spoelstra is big over there. You have a lot of basketball camps, as you said. Players go over there. It's a big deal. Actually, I'm shocked when I travel through Asia, even Southeast Asia. I'm shocked how many basketball courts I see. I had no idea. Like, I'm just like, wow. I really mean that.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you go to parks in Asia, you see kids and even adults playing basketball everywhere. I didn't realize that. I knew that in China because I've been over in China twice with the NBA. But even in Thailand, if you go to Thailand and you go to Bangkok and you go to the parks where there's beautiful areas and there's all kinds of sports activity, everyone's playing basketball.
Look at how big of a deal it was when Jeremy Lin had his moment in New York. You know, you lived that. That was massive.
I was there in the middle of Linsanity, and I always talk about the energy at Madison Square Garden. And I did 32 years of game. Well, I shouldn't say that because the year we had the lockout, we didn't go to the East Coast. So let's just round it off and say I did 30 games at Madison Square Garden in over different eras. Okay.
Wow.
That my first game I did at Madison Square Garden was 1988. So I went through the Patrick Ewing era. I went through the Carmelo Anthony era.
Mm-hmm.
I've went through a lot of different eras of Knicks basketball going in there. The most energy of any game that I've ever done at MSG was when Jeremy Lin was playing in Linsanity. And I always talk about Modell Sporting Goods, the big sporting goods stores in New York on 42nd Street, had nothing but Jeremy Lin jerseys, shirts, etc. in the window. Nothing else. It was Jeremy Lin everywhere. It was unlike anything I had ever experienced in New York. It was incredible. It was unbelievable.
It would be really interesting to talk. I've never talked to him about it, but Mike Bibby, because he was on the Knicks during Linsanity. Get his perspective of all that.
I, to this day, have experienced a lot of like memorable experiences announcing sports. That was so cool. And it ended when they brought Carmelo Anthony back because he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That all happened because Carmelo Anthony wasn't playing.
That's right.
Jeremy Lin took over New York. He was the talk of the town. Think about that. New York.
Can you think of a handful of athletes that have done that in New York? I don't want to call Jeremy Lin a flash in the pan because he ended up having a pretty good NBA career in terms of length, but just guys out of nowhere. Cam
Yes, there are a
Scatterbo,
couple.
for instance.
Yes, there are a couple. We call them folk heroes, right? You know?
Oh, okay. Folk heroes.
Cam Scatterbo is definitely one who comes on the scene and then all of a sudden becomes a fan favorite. I got to tell you, George McPhee was that with the Rangers. George played his first game. I don't want to put him on the same level as Lynn Sanity. George became an instant fan favorite of Madison Square Garden in his first ever playoff game at MSG. So much so that he was being talked about every day on WFAN radio, talk radio, and everything else. And I say that they didn't even have all sports talk back then. Okay. And I really mean this. I remember, I shouldn't even say WFN. It was WNBC. It was WMCA. I remember listening to the John Sterling show on WMCA. And people say, well, WFAN started sports talk radio. It was really a little bit before that, but it was like an hour. It wasn't like it all day. You know what I mean? It wasn't 24-hour sports. So I should clarify myself. You would listen to John Sterling's show, and Marv Albert had a show. When I mean he had a show, it was like on WNBC radio. And they were talking about George McPhee no, really. I'm not kidding you. And the fans at Madison Square Garden would chant his name out, and they would go crazy when he would go on the ice. He became a fan favorite, like on day one, just with the way he played. He would take on any player on the opposing team. He was an enforcer. He was a little guy. He had moxie. He had heart. That's what they love in New York, and he had all of that. But I remember listening to John Sterling's show, Marv Albert. I'm like, wait a minute. They're talking about George on the radio? Were you kidding me?
Studio 54, y'all pull up, and they know Georgie.
Yeah. He'd just been, it was unbelievable. Yeah. But so we talk about, there have been players like that on the Yankees. There have been players like that on the Rangers, the Knicks. But I don't know if anyone had the impact, I'd have to think about this, that Jeremy Lin had over such a short period of time. I mean, think about that. He has his own nickname, Linsanity. Think about that. Linsanity. Think about a sporting goods store. There were Linsanity, Jeremy Lin jerseys everywhere. Everywhere over New York. And you have your own nickname? Linsanity. Pretty cool. It is really, really cool. And I'm thinking about other markets where it's happened. But has anything ever really topped what Jeremy Lin did for that short period of time in that one winter in New York for the Knicks? And you look at his entire career and you ask yourself, wait a minute, why did that happen in New York to that level where he was that good, that dominant, and didn't happen anywhere else? Like, ask yourself, like, how does that happen? Like, what is it about that? He rode the wave, and then the wave stopped, and then he could never get back on the wave? It was incredible. Incredible. All right. Let's get to some phone calls. Tony in Rancho Cordova. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the show.
Grant, how are you? Happy New Year.
I'm good. How are you?
Terrific. Thanks. Hey, I wanted to call because we're about a month out for the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to talk to you about that real quick if you got any thoughts on it. And
I couldn't tell you anything about the Derby other than it's the first Saturday in May, and I couldn't name one horse in it, and I couldn't tell you one horse in it even Friday, the day before the race. So you educate me.
Well, don't feel so bad. I don't have my horses quite picked out yet because they're still qualifying to get in. There's some big races this weekend: the Santa Anita Derby, the Florida Derby, Arkansas Derby, that are going to count. The winner will have points counting towards the Kentucky Derby. So, again, we got about a month left, and there's still some big-time races left. So, as time goes on, I'll call in and narrow it down the field maybe because there'll be at least 20 horses in the field.
Yeah.
And
I was just going to ask you how many horses normally run in the Derby. So it's normally about 20 or more?
Cool.
So,
rarely more, 20.
So post position is so crucial in the Derby with all those horses, correct?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
But you don't want to be number one, though. You don't want to be out of the number one hole, do you?
No, that's the rail. That's the rail. I mean,
all right, so
preferably you want to be in the middle.
You don't want to be in the middle. Okay. So it's okay to be right. It's okay. So what's the worst? What's the worst? What is the worst post position that you can be at the Derby?
20, 19, 20, way outside.
So way outside.
Even though you're outside, yeah, you still got to make up a lot of ground.
But if you're in post position number one against the rail, and you don't get off to a quick start, you don't get boxed in.
Yes and no. I mean, again, you're saving ground because you're on the rail, so you have the advantage that way. But if you get boxed in, if you get boxed in from the 7th or 8th position, you got problems either. Also,
yeah.
So it really depends on the start, and you got to remember you're going to have horses kicking dirt. The other horses going to kick dirt in other horses' faces. They're going to be bumping each other. It could be sloppy, absolutely. And horses are just like athletes, just like humans. They got personalities, they got temperaments. Some like to run, some don't like to run. Some like the crowd, some don't like the crowd. So you got a lot of factors to consider.
Good stuff. Tony, call me, keep me posted as we get closer, okay?
I'll have my picks for you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. All right, bye-bye. I always thought that you didn't want to be in the post position, number one, at the Derby. He said, you always want to be along the rail, but I didn't think you wanted to get hemmed in there.
Hey, listener Tony, he checked me
I'm gonna listen
when
to
it
Tony.
came to the gambling, remember? When I was talking about the Supafecta or whatever that was, he called up and put me in my place.
Yeah, he
educated me.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I wonder if Tony's got a passport.
Sure he does. Seems like he's got some East Coast twang to his voice.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe he could, when they run on the grass over in the UK and they go the other direction. You ever see those races?
No, they go the other direction.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of, it's different. Not all the time, but yeah.
Do they do that on purpose? Like the steering wheel's on the other side of the car too?
Each country is different. I can't remember in the UK. I think so. I'm not positive about that.
Have you driven a car where the steering wheel's on the other side?
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
Is
it? You know what? Okay, so here's the biggest mistake I make. When I use my turn signal, the windshield wipers come on because it's opposite on the steering wheel. So it's like, oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's frustrating. So, yes, absolutely.
A right turn must be bizarre.
You know what's bizarre? You have to really concentrate because everything is backwards and it's not natural. And what I mean by concentrating is when you drive on that side, as you said, the right-hand turn is like freaky at first. Like you're like, you really making, it always helps when there's a car in front of you doing the same thing.
Yeah. Sure hope Tiger has a driver in Switzerland.
Oh, gosh.
Can't navigate these roads.
Switzerland's on the our side of the street.
Okay.
Or our side of the car.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. I think he's probably not going to be going to too many places.
No. Does that bug you that he went out of the country?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. I'm shocked that people are all.
Yeah, like what difference does it make?
Yeah, exactly.
Switzerland's an interesting place to go for that. I hope he has a view.
I'm sure he probably has a view. I remember seeing the commercials all the time. Like if you ever stayed home from school and you had daytime TV on, I think it was like Passages for Malibu or something, where it looks like a resort. Got to think he probably has a good view.
Well, if you're going to be in that situation, you want to do it. You want to have at least a view. All right. So real quickly, you asked me about horse racing. Real quick, you were talking about Tony.
Yeah.
Do you watch the Kentucky Derby? Do you watch the Preakness? Do you watch the Belmont Stakes? Like, do you always watch the Derby or only if you're home?
Only if I'm home.
Yeah, me too. It's not something that I've got to watch.
And by the way, the lead up to the Derby is insane. It's what, like at least 2 hours of coverage?
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
But for people that are into horse racing like Tony, it's their Super Bowl, right? That's the biggest race on the calendar. Yeah.
Somebody said Switzerland Rehab is going to be the best on earth. See, I have I'm not trying to make a mockery out of what Tiger's doing, but see, I would disagree. I would think going to a place where I would assume you're going to be pretty much confined and you're in the great wonderland of Switzerland, which I've been to over 10 times. And as we get to the break, I will tell you, if you've never been to Switzerland, put it on your bucket list. It is spectacularly, incredibly beautiful. I've never really experienced anywhere on the earth that's like Switzerland. So to me, it would almost be torturous to be over there for something as serious as a rehabilitation treatment center. And that's what you're doing. And you're not going out and doing everything. Now, I don't feel sorry for Tiger in this sense. I mean, he can go to Switzerland anytime he wants. He can stay anywhere he wants. He can buy an entire town over there. So I'm not really sympathizing with him not being able to do things. But for you or me, it's probably not a place I would want to go. If I'm not able to leave the facility I'm at, that would be kind of torturous for me.
Yeah, and my guess is that he chose that place because of the doctors and not actually the scenery. You want to be where the best doctors are at.
I would think so. All right, we'll wrap up the show after we talk about Village Financial Group. Spencer Grimmenstein, who opened up his family-owned local business in 2000. That's when I first met Spence, and I can vouch for him. We talk about experience when it comes to real estate. Check that box. You talk about being a financing specialist. Check that box. Access to private money. Check that box. Easy to work with. Check that box. Great guy. Check the box. Again, I can vouch for him in all of these things. But what do you want when you are getting ready to buy a home, sell a home, maybe looking into a home equity line of credit? Well, you want someone that's experienced. You want someone you can trust. But you want someone that you know is going to get the job done and make sure that they are not dealing with issues that are going to prevent you from getting exactly what you want. That's Spence at Village Financial Group. Call him or text him at 916-805-4868. That's 805-4868. Village Financial Group and Spence, it's kind of like a white glove boutique shop experience. From the start line to the finish line, he'll get you there. And don't forget, there are thousands of listings available that you can go and check out at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We'll wrap up the week when we come back right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox Sports. Who still listens to the radio?
I'll tell you who. People who trust the comforting voices of our community. The Accident Guys have been proudly serving our community for over a decade.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
It's Rhino inviting you to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site, Prize Picks. What I love about Prize Picks is real sports knowledge meets real payouts. You're not competing against sharks, just the numbers. In basketball, points, rebounds, assists, baseball, hits, total bases. One swing can cash your pick. Golf fans, birdies, strokes, and round-by-round performance. Every shot counts and every pick matters. It's simple. Choose 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projection, and let them win the night for you. Download the Prize Picks app today using the code Rhino50 to get $50 in free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Rhino, RYNO50 to get $50 in free play after your first $5 lineup. One app, over 100 sports. Pick, predict, cash, Prize Picks.
Spring is here, so check your tires. When your vehicle needs the best, get Firestone Firehawks. They are built on years of racing heritage and are designed with the latest in tire technology. This month, save $100 on a set of 4 Firestone Firehawks. They provide the confidence and comfort you've come to expect from Firestone. Race into Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard, and find the set that's right for you. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. Available at Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard.
This is Kurt Bagelman. Does your business need more customers? If you said no, congratulations. If you said yes, then you need to consider advertising your products and services. People need to know you exist, and then why your business is worth considering to spend their money with. You also need to advertise to the right audience. For example, Sports Talk listeners have disposable income. They own homes, they're employed, and they earn 6-figure incomes. And importantly, Sports Talk listeners listen longer, so your advertising message has more opportunity to be heard. Does your business need more customers? If the answer is yes, then give me a call to schedule a conversation. We'll discuss your objectives, talk about potential strategies, and also determine if Fox Sports Radio is a good station for you to consider. Call me, 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
So, Ryan, I've got a deal for you. Here's what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
You get your passport. We will go somewhere where the steering wheel is on the right side of the vehicle.
Okay.
We land, we'll rent a car, and you'll drive us from the airport.
What's in it for me? I'm flying.
We're going to a foreign country and we're going to have fun, but you're going to drive. I want to see you I want to see you go to a foreign country for the first time, not including Mexico or Canada. All right, with a different culture. I want to rent a car, and I want to see you drive out of the rental car onto the streets. By the way, I'm going to have a helmet on. I'm going to have a harness on. I'm going to look like an F1 driver, okay, in the passenger side, okay?
Says the guy that doesn't wear a helmet on the back of a tuk-tuk.
I'm gonna have my fire suit on. I'm gonna have my fire shoes on, okay, and I'm gonna be sitting on the left side of the car in the passenger side, and I'm gonna have you drive us to the hotel. Okay?
Yeah, take the more on bathroom stops for names on that trip.
So that would be a good first experience. Okay.
All right. Hey, you just want to see my natural reactions. That's what it is, right?
Dorian says he's coming with us. Dorian, okay. Dorian, are you going to sit in the back seat with a helmet on, or how are you going to handle that? Okay.
Patrick's coming too. Are we going to tow Patrick
on
a sidecar?
No, we'll get a van.
Okay, we'll get a van.
Or we can get. Now I won't have you drive a tuk-tuk if we go to Asia. You couldn't do that. We couldn't all fit in there anyway. That was a motorbike. You don't need a helmet to go in a tuk-tuk. You don't have helmets in a tuk-tuk. I'm talking about a helmet on the back of a motorbike taxi.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's a van that has windows. I don't like the vans that don't have windows.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to have windows.
Got to have windows.
Yeah. You got to have windows. I agree with you.
Did you ever drive in those big conversion vans that were popular back in the day? That had like TVs and captain's chairs?
I've never driven one of those. No. Have
you ever ridden in one of those?
Yeah.
Oh,
beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, those are cool.
So are you good with that? You're good driving on a car like that or no?
Yeah, I love driving.
Okay. Dorian says no helmet for him. He's going to go He's going to be a man. You know, he was going to go to New York in the coldest cold of the year.
Yeah.
And he was going to not wear socks. You remember that cold?
Yeah.
Right? You remember that?
The cold.
Yeah.
Yours
Good
is
job.
so
You're
much.
learning.
Yeah, but yours is like very, it's bright. It's vibrant. Mine's deep. There you go. Acoustics are better in your room than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? We'll go.
I'm down.
I'll pick out a country just like that, and then we'll see how you do driving. Here's the deal: we won't even get off the airport grounds, and we'll be pulled over already by the airport police, and then I'll have to drive the rest of the way.
It's okay. I'll call the president.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do that.
Lynn says he's coming too. No.
Oh my gosh, how many people are coming now all of a sudden?
I mean, you threw out this whole golf vacation, and
yes,
a ton of people started RSVPing.
All right, we'll go to Scotland. I think they drive on that. I was in Scotland, if memory serves me correct. That's how the vehicles over there are.
Will we have a helicopter available to us if we get into?
No, you will not.
Oh, okay.
No, Chris Russo's not coming on this trip.
All right. Darn.
That's okay. Just make sure you get to where you're going. No problem.
Yeah.
Pat, give yourself a little time.
No doubt.
I got to figure out where we're going, though. Dorian, you in? Dorian's in. I know Dorian's in. Dorian, do you golf? I haven't even asked. Do you golf at all? If not, you can be our caddy.
Dorian doesn't strike me as the golfing type.
No, he doesn't. He, played football, was on Sac State, football guy. We'll see. We can work
guy.
on it. You got a little bit of time to take some lessons and work on it.
Have you ever done CrossFit?
No.
It's quite the workout.
Haven't done it. No. Said Lynn said you're right. He's in. We got a lot of people. Lynn is only going if we're going to an F1 race, so we'd have to go somewhere so that Lynn can look forward to going to an F1 race on the weekend.
Lynn, I don't have that much deferred compensation.
No, well, I'm not going. You're not going. Lynn can go while we're playing golf.
Perfect. I
can't afford an F1 ticket.
There's nothing worse than the vacations that you go on with your friends where one friend has that expectation that everybody is attending everything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. By the way, Dorian said, I'm always in. Golf is too slow for me. I caddied for a summer, though. It was fun. All right, there you have it. So he's going to carry both our bags. So we'll tip well. Don't worry, Dorian.
Holy
we'll take
crap.
care of you. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. I can't confirm this.
Yes.
But Mac, who is a massive Notre Dame fan and took me to a Notre Dame game this past season. Are you sitting down?
Yes.
I want to make sure you're stable right now.
I'm looking at my chair. It's
okay.
stable.
You're good. All right. According to him and sources, Notre Dame and Sacramento State are going to be working out. It looks like a arrangement. Let me just read it. Notre Dame and Sacramento State have scheduled a 12-game football home-and-home series starting in 2027, according to reports.
It's impossible.
The series will kick off in South Bend in 2027 and in 2028, Sacramento, alternating annually through 2038. This agreement marks a significant non-conference matchup for Sacramento State as they look forward to future scheduling.
Where are they going to play in Sacramento? Are they going to play? They're going to open up is going to be the first football game at the rail yards?
It would have to be, or you would have to.
Of course, where you think Notre Dame's playing at Sacramento State University? I mean, give me a freaking break. On that field, in that stadium, give me a break.
No, they're not playing there. They would be playing someplace else.
How happy are you if that's are they going to be able to bring their band so you can hear the band?
Yes, they've replaced USC with Sacramento State.
That's embarrassing. I mean, let's just call it the way it is. That's embarrassing.
Hey, you know what?
No, it's embarrassing.
If this is true, This is exactly what Sac State needed to do.
It's embarrassing. There's
if it's
no other
true,
way to say it. It's
exactly.
embarrassing.
Why?
It's embarrassing. You know what? Let's just call it what it is. If this is no, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It's disgraceful is what it is. It's just disgraceful. It really is.
So
stop it. You're replacing USC. I mean, did you hear what you just said?
Yes, I know.
You're replacing USC with Sacramento State.
Okay,
Think about what you just said.
No, I understand that side of it. Sean Salisbury, I'd be dumping him all day right now if he was on with us. But, okay, let's take that away, that I didn't say it's replacing USC. Getting something like that is a massive deal for Sac State and recruiting. If you're going to be playing Notre Dame,
that is true.
12 seasons in a row.
That is true. It would be great for recruiting.
I don't.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Correct. I have a hard time believing Notre Dame is making 6 trips.
Is it still April 1st or is it not? Have we moved? We're not still on April Fool's, right?
April 3rd. I will have a very hard time believing that Notre Dame is going to come to Sacramento 6 times in 12 years.
I don't believe it.
Because usually, like, if you get a multi-year, it's usually 2 or 3 at the big boys, and then they come to you once.
Common sense tells me that's not happening.
This would be interesting.
Let me update some scores. Hornets lead the Pacers in the fourth, 106-87, so the Pacers are going to lose. The Hawks lead the Nets at halftime, 71-55. I'm not ready to call that game just yet. The Rockets lead the Jazz 52-32. I am calling that race as over, and the Houston Rockets will win. And the Grant Napear projections has the Utah Jazz losing, okay, as we look at the standings in the NBA for the worst of the worst.
Okay, the only thing I don't like about this is there is a report on it. Mac, did you derail a segment? Because one of the reports is April 1st.
Yeah, again,
2026.
It's common sense that would tell you
there's
that
no
it
way
cannot happen. First of all, common sense. I don't know of any university that is big time that schedules more than one game.
Right.
All right. Like Notre Dame would never come to a small college with 20,000 fans as a maximum crowd.
Right. I'm with you. And a 12-year commitment.
They don't do that.
Too.
They can't. Huh?
Yeah, and a 12-year commitment, a 12-game series.
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Yeah.
No. That's why I was saying common sense tells me that it's not a true story. It was fun to talk about for 5 minutes, though, and get you all excited.
It was. Got my blood pressure up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
why I said that is the stupid. What did I say? It's the stupidest thing of it. I'm like, stop it. All right. We are on that note. The fiction part of our radio show is in the books for 2026, and we will focus on everything that's going on, including the Kings tonight on the post-game show with Rhino and Jerry and myself, 9:15, 9:30. A's are going to be playing their home opener here within the next hour, so you can keep track of that. The Giants and the Mets and the Kings. Right now, it looks like, and again, it looks like that the Jazz are going to lose. I'm calling that race over. I'm calling the Pacers losing. That race is over. I'm not yet ready to concede the Hawks and the Nets, but the Hawks lead 71-55 at the break. So if the Kings were to win, oh boy, yeah. Lose the game tonight, please. We'll talk about it on the post-game show. My thanks to all of our guests this week. It's been a lot of fun. The usual Sean Salisbury, Oldham Polonies, but it was great talking with some of the other guests that we had on this week, including Mike Pereira from the NFL on Fox and Brian Knight. And it's Steve Sachs joining us yesterday. Always fun to talk to those individuals as well. Hey, I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Enjoy it, whatever you may do, and have a great holiday weekend as well. My thanks to you for making us a part of your day each and every day. Right here, my thanks to Ryan in Sacktown. And stay safe. Grant Napear saying so long. Happy Easter. Enjoy. Fox Sports, Sacramento, saying so long. Bye-bye now.
If you love the game of golf and you want to get better at playing the game, your journey to golfing excellence starts by visiting par18golf.com.